Keeping an eye on that. Team USA. Canada just goes up 1-0. Let's see how much time is in that bad puppy here. We're into the second. 17:34. Team Canada now 1-0 in the gold medal match. Rooting for America. How you doing? We salute you. Let's go, ladies. Tomorrow, we got another game, and then I'm looking forward to one thing. You know what that is? I'm looking for Team USA versus Team Canada. Gold Cup, gold medal. Let's go. That's all I care about. It may not be Lake Placid. Hey, but that game last night was pretty damn impressive. They lose the lead with 91 seconds left in the game. They come back in overtime. Quinn Hughes gets it done, and they go on and win in overtime against the Swedes. How you doing? Big Sills here. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you very much. All right. Big news as always when it comes to your Philadelphia Eagles. Also, some NFL news is coming up. Lane Johnson has decided to switch gears and come back for a 14th season at 36 years of age. By the time the season starts, Lane Johnson will be 36 years of age. Legendary player. Let's go down the list of accolades for Lane. Lane Johnson, obviously, I believe a 6-time Pro Bowler. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a 3-time NFC champion, a 2-time Super Bowl champion, and he is coming back, and he's coming back for a 14th season. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, 1 career touchdown for the man himself, and a future Hall of Fame player. Now, first ballot, right tackles, that's probably changed a little bit. So at the end of the day, he's probably going to get in, I would think, on a first ballot, especially with those 2 Super Bowls. So my question would be, what version are you getting back of Lane Johnson? It would be this for me. Look, I've said this before. The age at 36 doesn't bug me. That's not the issue, because if you look at guys like Jason Peters was playing pretty good football all the way until the time he was 42 years old. So when you're an older offensive lineman and somebody like that, the age doesn't really, that's not a factor in offensive linemen. What becomes the factor is the accumulation of injuries. Also, Landon Dickerson has decided to come back. That's his 13 surgeries in. I'm more concerned, actually, about Landon coming back and Cam Jurgens coming back than I am about Lane Johnson coming back. Lane, at the end of the day, listen, his age is not really the issue. It's the accumulation of the injuries. And what version are you going to get back? Now, is he going to be a guy that's going to play 17 games? I don't know. I think that's the outlier, is what are you getting? By the way, do you want him back? Of course you want him back. What's the alternative? No disrespect to Fred Johnson, but that's not the guy, and that's not the answer. So I'm not going down that lane. I mean, Lane coming back at that age, that's okay. Really, the great offensive linemen don't get into their prime of their careers until their 30s. He's probably at the back end of it, but I would definitely say this. Look, don't get caught up in the age. Get caught up in the amount of injuries that he's got to overcome here. So, again, the question mark will be moving forward, how many games is he going to give you this year? Is he going to give you 12? How about this? Let's start it off with this. What would you guys be okay with, the amount of games, and it would be a successful season? I'm saying this, and tell me if you agree. I say if you get north of 13 ball games this year, north of 13 games, I think it's a successful return. And if you can get them in the playoffs, I would think that would be great, right? 13 ball games. I think if you get north of that, you get him in the playoffs, I think you're all good. Okay? So the version for me getting him back, that's going to be the issue here. Okay? Yeah, 13 plus the playoffs. That's what I would agree. I think that would be a pretty good number. By the way, we appreciate all of you here. Howard Eskin is going to join us, and Howard will join us at 4:30. Big Z, as always, will join us. That will be at 3:30. So we'll get him on at 3:30, and we will get Howard Eskin, and we'll get Howard's take on what he sees for the Eagles coming up. But also we'll get his takeaway on that Nick Castellanos and his thought process in on that. So guys, hit the like button. We appreciate you. The best thing about Lane coming back is he's going to be coaching up the new kid, hopefully. It's Lomu, who's got good feet. Hey, Kyle, I don't know if it's going to be the offensive tackle. I would assume that it's going to be an offensive tackle. I would assume it, okay? You need him for the playoffs. Why not give him a week off every 4 to 5 weeks to keep him healthy? Look, a guy like that's not coming back to be on a pitch count. He's coming back to play and be a factor. Guy wants to close it out a little bit better than what he did this past year. Okay? So I don't think he's coming back to be put on a pitch count. I understand you're not wrong in monitoring a 36-year-old guy. Seals, can you get Drew Rosenhaus on the show? Let's discuss contracts. Drew really doesn't like to do that. Like, how many shows have you ever seen Drew Rosenhaus on? How many times have you ever seen Drew Rosenhaus do interviews? How many times have you ever seen Jimmy Sexton? As a matter of fact, how many times have you ever seen Nicole Lynn? Have you ever seen Nicole Lynn do an interview in Philadelphia yet? Guys, have you ever seen Nicole Lynn go on like WIP or 97.5 or anywhere talking about Jalen Hurts? Have you ever seen that? Okay? I mean, you might get somebody talking like in the off season or maybe in season, but you're really not going to get anybody. Okay? You're not going to get anybody talking about contracts right now. We need some younger talent on our aging offensive line. Drew only does pressers when his guys are in trouble. Or you saw him, like, get this. Drew Rosenhaus was at the game, right? The first Giant game. How come nobody at WIP got him on to talk about Jalen Carter? Because Drew Rosenhaus doesn't do that. Drew Rosenhaus doesn't do interviews. It's not what those guys do. Okay? Cowboys limited Tyron Smith in practices, and it helped a lot. Okay? That could be. Seals, if I were Drew or Nicole, I wouldn't go on WIP or the Fanatic either. This is JAKIB. I got you, Bob. Thank you very much. I like this kid. That's a pretty high pick, though, RC3 for a guard. You know, when you're picking in the first round, you're picking offensive tackles. Guards are more like a second round guy unless he's exceptional. You really don't see guards going. Like, how about this? When's the last time the Philadelphia Eagles drafted an offensive lineman in the first round at guard? Can you tell me? When's the last time you guys drafted a guard in the first round? Name me a guy. Okay? Landon was a second rounder. He wasn't a first rounder. Danny Watkins, okay? Danny Watkins. Okay, and like that's the only guard I can think of that you guys have drafted like in the last 25 years. I can't think of one guy that the Bucs have ever drafted at guard in the first round. I really can't think of one Miami Dolphin guy that has like ever been drafted. So it doesn't really happen. The majority of those guys are drafted like in the second and third rounds, guards. So here, do me a favor, hit the like button. Guys, I got to show you this. This is pretty. I'm going to get to that podcast. I'll get to this. I'll get to it here in a minute. I will. I got to show you this. So I think this is pretty funny. So Bleacher Report came out with the top 100 quarterbacks or the top 99 quarterbacks. Okay? I said Eagles. So here's what they have with the top 100 quarterbacks in the history of pro football. So let's go down the list here. It starts actually at 99. And it goes up. So 99. Who's 99? 99 is Ryan Tannehill. So we scoot up. There's Mark Rippon. There's Jeff Hostetler at 95. There's Justin Herbert at 93. Trent Green. Don Meredith at 90. Let's go. Oh, did I see another Eagle? Norm Schneed at 87. Here's my boy Brad Johnson at 85. Where's Jalen? Where is he going here? Where's Jalen Hurts? Here's Jalen Hurts. This is the top 199 quarterbacks of all time. And Jalen Hurts is at 75. So let's see who's ranked ahead of him. 74, Jeff Garcia. 73, Vinny Testaverde. 72, Dave Craig. 71, Kirk Cousins. Let's see here. 68, Jim Plunkett. Let's see here. Joe Burrow at 66. Matt Hasselbeck at 65. Jared Goff at 63. Mark Brunell at 61. Wow. Let's keep going here. This is fun. Let's see who else. Dak Prescott at 59. Hang on. Hold on for a second. Dak's ranked 59th greatest quarterback in NFL history. Hurts is 75. Okay. Let's see here. Tony Romo, 57. Carson Palmer, 56. This ain't my list either. Let's see here. Joe Flacco, 53. Vic, 52. Bledsoe, 51. Rich Gannon, 50. Roman Gabriel, 49. Boomer Esiason, 47. Joe Theismann, 46. Phil Simms, 44. Cam at 40. Donovan McNabb is ranked higher. He's ranked number 42. Let's see here. Randall Cunningham, 39. Hurts is 75. Sonny Jurgensen, 38. Let's see here. Josh Allen, 35. Let's see here. Name it, 33. Phillip Rivers, 32. Let's see here. Lamar Jackson, 28. Let's see. Russell Wilson, 25. Eli, 24. Jim Kelly, 22. Warren Moon, 21. Stafford, 20. Aikman, 19th. Roethlisberger, 16th. No way. Bradshaw, 15th. Unitas, 11th. Marino, 10th. Steve Young, 9. Breeze, 8. Favre, 7. Elway, 6th. Rodgers, 5th. Mahomes, 4th. Manning, 3rd. Montana, 1. And Brady, 1. Damn. Blind resume, last 2 years. 76 TDs, 12 INTs, 82-20, 17-9 record. You're a stats guy. Who's this? Sam Darnold. I would say that's Darnold. I would say that's Darnold. Let's see here. Jalen Hurts has not thrown for 8,000 yards in the last 2 years. He threw for 2,900. And he threw for $5,000 or 3,000. 82 yards in 2 seasons. Last 2 years. That ain't Jalen Hurts, dude. How about Jalen Hurts? Are you trying to tell me you think Jalen Hurts has thrown for 8,200 yards in the last 2 years? How about Jalen Hurts? Oh, you didn't say fucking total yards. That's not what you said, man. You said 82-20. Total yards? Yeah, okay, great, whatever. Yeah, that's why they changed the entire offense. This list is just poo-poo on Hurts again. No, I didn't put the list out. Let's see. Do I agree Brady won over Montana? No, I think it's Montana, then Brady. But okay. You take Brady, I'll take Montana. Manning, 3rd over Mahomes? No way. I'm taking Mahomes. My top 10 quarterbacks would be this. If I had to pick my top 10 QBs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd go Montana. I'd go Brady. I'd go Mahomes. Let's see here. I'd do Mahomes. Who would be my 4th? I'd put Manning at 4th. Peyton. 5th. I'd put Steve Young. I'd put Elway 6th. I'd put Marino 7th. I'd put Aaron Rodgers 8th. I'd put Unitas at 9. I don't think Stafford's top 10. And I put Favre 10th. So my top 10 QBs, Bleacher Report, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, mine would be, my top 10 would be Favre, Unitas, Rodgers, Marino, Elway, Young, Peyton Manning, Mahomes, Brady, and Montana. That'd be my top. Okay? This list has to be based off of talent, not success. Well, Roland, correct. Exactly what it is. Based off of talent. It's the only way you look at quarterbacks. What do you think? Because you're on a good football team, that makes you a better player than Warren Moon? You're that's what fans get crossed up in these conversations. You think because the guy's got a great resume and the guy's on a good football team and he's surrounded by a great organization, that makes that player better than the other guy, or it makes him more successful. He's given better opportunity. Hey, if you're in a bigger company or a better company, do you have a chance for better success? Yes or no? Dan Fouts is on that list. He is. Let me see where Fouts is. Fouts was a heck of a player. He just worked for Gene Klein. Gene Klein owned he's 23rd. Dan Fouts was working for a guy by the name of Gene Klein. And Gene Klein he never wanted to really spend any dough. Here's what it says too. Dan Fouts came up with some truly gaudy numbers in the heyday. Playing for Air Coryell, pass-heavy offense, Fouts led the NFL in passing 5 straight seasons. In 3 of those seasons, he threw for over 4,000 yards, including 2 seasons of 4,600 yards. Back then, you got to remember, they didn't throw the ball. In 81, he led the NFL in passing attempts with 609. That was unheard of then. 360 completions and 4,800 yards. Nobody did that back then. Dude, if you threw the ball for like 2,800 yards, you were a Pro Bowler. I know you didn't. I know you didn't make the list, but you're bringing it up. I can only assume to laugh at where Hurts is. We all know Hurts isn't the greatest quarterback ever. Tannehill is on this list. Weird. Ryan Tannehill's not a bad quarterback, dude. He went to an AFC championship game. He wasn't terrible. Here, this is what they say about Tannehill. I think you look at the name. Okay, he was a former 3-time Pro Bowler, comeback player of the year. He threw for 34,000 yards, 216 touchdowns. Tannehill is one of the rare players to transition from the college wide receiver into an NFL player. In 19, Tannehill earned the first Pro Bowl, won comeback player of the year that year, completing 70% of his passes. Had 117 quarterback rating that year. Titans coaching staff allowed Tannehill to show his athleticism that season as well. Remember, Derrick Henry was on that team. And listen, I'm not telling you Ryan Tannehill's a great player and you're building a football team around the guy. But he was a phenomenal player, man. He was how about this? I wouldn't say phenomenal player. I would say a really good player. Drew Brees, you guys said? I think their little captions are pretty damn impressive. I like what they are. Let me see what they write about Hurts. They'd probably give him a great review here. Here's Jalen. One-time Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion, 2-time Pro Bowler, Burt Bell Award. I think that's another MVP award. At 27, Hurts is still in his prime, and he has growing list of accomplishments that made him an all-star player. Philadelphia Eagles have clinched a playoff in all 5 years. Hurts has been a primary starter, claiming 3 NFC East titles, appearing in 2 Super Bowls. Speaking of distinguishable postseason numbers, Hurts is the only player with 10-plus passing touchdowns and 10-plus rushing scores in the playoffs. He also has the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in Eagles history and is only the 2nd overall behind Steve Van Buren. Hurts isn't as shifty as Lamar on the run, but he's hard to bring down as Josh Allen on the move. He's 6'1", 233, and he is an effective football player. I don't think that's bad. I mean, 75. I mean, for a guy that doesn't really throw the ball, being 75 on that list, I don't think that's awful. Guys, the NFL's been around for 105 years. You're on any – I told Xander this before the show. You're on any list all time in pro football. I don't give a shit if you're 100 or if you're 1. That's quite an accomplishment, being on an all-time list. Let me see what they say about McNabb. Because they got McNabb. Actually, they got Randall Cunningham ranked higher on this. Let me see what they got. They got some bums ranked ahead of Hurts, though, that I know. Matt Hasselbeck, Mark Brunell. Okay, Dak. Let's see what they say about Dak. When Dak Prescott is healthy, he produces at a rate of a top 5 quarterback with high volume passing numbers, efficiency, and poise. In each of Prescott's first 4 years with the Cowboys, he threw for at least 22 touchdowns, leading the Cowboys to 2 division titles in that span. By his 5th year, he began to deal with significant injuries, though he bounced back. Prescott was the runner-up 2021 Comeback Player of the Year for 44, 49, and 37 touchdowns after missing 17 games in 24. He came back to throw for 4,500 passing yards and 30 touchdowns with 10 picks in the following year to earn his 5th Pro Bowl. During that campaign, he surpassed Tony Romo as the all-time leading passer in Cowboy history. There's Romo. I don't care about Romo. I hate Romo. Let's go down here. I want to find out, where's Donovan McNabb? I want to see what they say about McNabb here. How you doing, Sills? The problem with this list can be misguided because of quarterbacks less talented winning Super Bowls. That's why it's more about team. Correct. You're dead on. You are absolutely correct. Thank you very much, my friend. Doesn't matter. Some are still playing, could move up. Yes, absolutely. That's what Xander said. Well, he can either move up or down. Okay? There's Joe Theismann. Here's Donovan. This is Bleacher Report, by the way. They've got him ranked 42nd. Hurts is 75. Donovan McNabb and the Eagles fell just short against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Otherwise, McNabb may have already been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If he wins the Super Bowl, McNabb is a surefire Hall of Famer. Syracuse's product was selected 2nd overall in '99 and went on to solidify Philadelphia's quarterback position for over a decade. A dangerous dual threat, especially early in his career. McNabb helped deliver 7 playoff berths, including 5 straight from 2000 to 2004. He also helped the Eagles win 5 NFC East championships. A 6-time Pro Bowler, spent the last 2 years in Washington and Minnesota, but will always be known as a Philly legend. He's also a member of the Philadelphia Hall of Fame. Number 5 has been retired. McNabb finished with 37,276, 234 touchdowns, which is 30th and 38th, respectively, to go with 3,459 yards rushing. Also, with a combined record of 98, 62, and 1 in the regular season and 9 and 7 in the postseason. That 9 and 7 is not as easy as you think. Okay? Hurts is right now 6 and 4, right? So let's see if he finishes his career over 500. It's not that easy. Many of the great quarterbacks are 500. Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. I think Brees is 9 and 7. I think Marino's under. I don't think Marino has a winning record in the postseason. We'll see. Let's see what they say about Randall. Here's Randall. Randall Cunningham. Here's Randall. 16 seasons. Before there was Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, there was Randall Cunningham. When Cunningham peeled off his first of 3 straight trips to the Pro Bowl in 88 to 90, the Philadelphia Eagles, he was a revelation, a highlight reel playing whenever he played. He did things on the football field that people just hadn't seen before. When Cunningham ran for 942 yards in 90, it marked the second highest total by a quarterback in league history to that date. Cunningham was much more than just a runner, too. He topped the 3,000 passing yards 5 times. He threw for 30 or more touchdowns twice. He had 20-plus touchdown seasons 3 more times. He led the NFL in passer rating at 106 at the age of 35 years of age in 98 after coming out of retirement. That second act came with the Minnesota Vikings. All told, Cunningham started 135 games, 6 Pro Bowls, led the Vikings to a 15-1 record in 98, and that was one missed field goal from one of the greatest single seasons by a squad and quarterback in pro football history. Cunningham was a freak of nature. I mean, he was just a freak of nature. Like, if Randall Cunningham played today, he'd be the highest paid quarterback in pro football. I mean, he was just, I played against the guy. It was stupid. He was just, and if the Eagles had any brains, like if Jeffrey Lurie had Randall Cunningham would have won 3 Super Bowls. Sills, do you really think McNabb not winning a ring will keep him out of Canton? It seems that's the thing. Okay? It does. It seems to be that's the deal. Cunningham was good. Cunningham made first, get this. I think Randall made first team All-American in 1985. 1985 All-American football team. I think he made it in 85. But I think he was the punter. I think he was the punter on that team. Randall Cunningham, punter. Randall Cunningham, punter, All-American. I think he made the All-American team as a punter. That's right. Randall Cunningham was a standout punter and quarterback at UNLV, earned first-team All-American honors as a punter in 1983 and 1984. So he was first team. He was the first team, 2-time All-American as a punter. I think his daughter is like an Olympic high hurdler as well. I think she's like a high. No. I think she's a high jumper. Like she's like an Olympian high jumper or something. Remember the Giants game where Randall Cunningham bounced? Dude, we were calling him Gumby on tape. People have hurts over Randall. Randall was absolutely astonishing. No, nobody is better than that guy. I'm telling you. I mean, dude, if I were to rank your quarterbacks, the most accomplished is by far Jalen. But ability-wise, Randall, Donovan, Vic, Jalen. Hey, dude, Jaworski was good too. Hey, Jaworski's on this list. Ron Jaworski's on it. I think Ron Jaworski was the first initially drafted by the Miami Dolphins. And he was backing up, I think he was backing up Greasy. Yeah, Jaworski's got to be on this list. Jaworski was a good quarterback. Archie Manning's on this list. Hey, Jalen's ranked ahead of Doug Williams. Here's Jaworski. 3 years into his professional career, it didn't look like Jaworski was going to amount to much. He had started just 3 games in a regular season, although he also made a postseason start, came in on relief of James Harrison in the 75 NFC Championship game. After an injured March 76 season, Jaworski was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's when the light bulbs went on. That had to be Vermeil. Over a decade in Philly, Jaworski made 137 starts. His overall record was barely over 500. They weren't very good when he got there, though. But over a 3-year stretch from 79 to 81, Jaworski led the Eagles to 35 victories and 3 straight playoff appearances. Best of those years came in 80, where he threw for 3,500 yards and 27 TDs. Made the Pro Bowl, and the team advanced to the Super Bowl that season. and they were upset by a wild card. It was the very first wild card season in the NFL. So it was like, I think the Raiders beat you guys. Randall was one of the few historic players who looks like a modern player. It's a great take. A great take. You're right. Like, if you look back in that era, what quarterbacks could play today? Marino, Montana, Kelly, Bernie, Randall would be like if Randall had a better team, he had a phenomenal defense. Randall Cunningham is better, in my opinion, than Lamar Jackson. I think Randall's better than Lamar. Elway could play. Yep. Yeah, Boomer's on that list. He's pretty high on that list, actually, too. Okay? So he is. He's pretty high on that list. Let's see here if yeah, it's 1-0, end of 2 right now. So yeah. All right. So I want to get into something else here. Yesterday we did something with trade value. Oh, I want to address something. So let me go over to my X account. And somebody put this up here. Let's see here. So A.J. Brown. Hang on. So A.J. Brown was on Julian Edelman's podcast, I think, and Gronk's podcast. Just remember, we're all Patriots. You know that, right? Brown winks. So these guys are now recruiting him. Okay? Burner account. What's that? You must be new, dude. Me with a burner? You mean a joint? Because if you're talking about another social media account, yeah, no. Okay? Why are you always late? Who says I'm late? I'm on big sales time, Junior. No. Who said I'm on big sales time? Randall was the whole offense, no doubt. Yeah, well, you had Keith Byers and you also had Keith Jackson on that team. So wait a minute. Sills, who's likely to leave? Oh, A.J. Brown's out. I'm sorry. I don't believe he's there. So ESPN's got trade value. And I want to go over it with you here. Okay? So ESPN came out with a trade value. The latest on a potential A.J. Brown trade. Let's see here. I showed you yesterday. How come everybody in Philly, the people in Philly don't believe he's gone? Everyone else that I talk to says he's gone, no matter who it is. Everybody going to Indianapolis believes that A.J. Brown is gone. How come you don't? How come you guys don't believe that? That he's gone? What makes you think he's staying? He doesn't like the play of the quarterback. That wasn't even me saying it. There's no one I've spoken to except for people who are in Philly. And get this, the people that cover the team are the last to know. Every single national fucking story that's ever put out about your team, Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport or Diana Rossini, they break it. When is the last time a Philadelphia Eagle beat writer of the Eagles broke a story? Give me one that broke a story with any significance over guys like Jay Glazer. They give the local guys crumbs. That's not just a Philly thing. They do that shit in Tampa. They do that in LA. They do that everywhere. The national guys get the main stories. The local guys get the crumbs. And it's by design. Adam Schefter just said the other day that he thinks he's staying now. Okay? ESPN doesn't believe it either. Just, you trade AJ for Thibodeau, he will still be pissed. Also, does anyone know who recruited Thibodeau? That was Mario Cristobal. Thank you very much. And he also did Penei Sewell. Okay? How we will not absorb the cat hit. I showed you yesterday, Mr. Hill. If AJ wants out, you can redo the contract and to take less cap hit. I showed you how it can be done. That's the exercise we did. Okay? You bring up a great point. A.J. Brown is overrated, to be honest. He's not even a top 5. Wait. Well, he's not a top 5 because he doesn't have a top 5 quarterback. Here's what I'll tell you. I think some of these price tags that some people are floating out on some of these guys, I think they're going to try to control the market. You know, people in Tampa, this guy, Derek Gilmore, he's trying to float around that Mike Evans is a $20 million guy. I started asking people around. His market value tops is $13 million. He's not a $20 million guy. And at best, he's a 2. He's not a 1 wideout. I heard John and Xander talking. John missed the whole point of the conversation. And I don't think Xander, maybe he didn't hear me either yesterday. Xander's going to be on a 3:30. Who said I wanted Mike Evans to be your number 1 here? Fuck, your number 1 would be Devontae. Mike Evans would roll the 2. You move your other guy out in the 1 spot, and you put him at the Z. Mike Evans is not a 1 at $13 million. And some go, well, he's 33. Well, what are you going to do out there then? Jahan Dotson? Some fucking dude in the 3rd round? And you want to change your offense? I mean, that does. So here, this is what John would say. You're not bringing a 33-year-old guy in to play the 2nd wide receiver in Mike Evans. Okay? Fair enough. So what are you going to put out there? John Smith from Dick University on the other side of Devontae? What are you going to do? Some kid you got to break in with a brand new offense and a 33-year-old coordinator. Make that make sense. Don't you want to have a guy out there that's a seasoned dude that knows how to catch passes? I'd want a veteran out there. If I'm changing my offense and I am trading A.J. Brown, what in God's name do I want out there? A dude from where? Appalachian State? On the other side of Devontae? Jalen Reagor 3? Wouldn't you want a veteran guy there? A guy that's reliable and a guy that's durable to play 17 games? I mean, let's do this. Let's move AJ, put a dude from Dick University over there at wide receiver on the other side of Devontae, or a dude, a free agent nobody, and somebody that's not reliable. Oh, by the way, and all in the light of changing the offense. And that sounds right. Use sense. So I'm going to change the offense. I'm going to move off AJ. I'm going to put a young kid in on the other side of Devontae Smith and expect my quarterback's passing game to be better. Make that make sense. Let me put Darius Cooper out there on the other side of Devontae, and I'm changing an offense. Whoa. Hey, sounds like you're going in the right direction. Holy cow. Yeah. Bob Smith from Dick University is now taking over for AJ. Congratulations to you. He's cheaper and he's young. Hey, dude, I don't give a shit about young and old. I care about productive. Are you productive? Are you good? Are you not good? Do you produce? Age has nothing to do with production. Do you produce or not? Some guys produce. 36-year-old, it's funny. You'll bring a 36-year-old Lane Johnson back, but you won't look at a 33-year-old guy who's a Hall of Fame player. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, okay. What? Why don't you get younger at tackle? Hey, Lane, thanks a lot. We appreciate you. I'll see you later. Okay? But not Evans because, he's 33. But you're bringing back a 36-year-old tackle. I'll tell you this. Mike Evans has just as much chance as Lane Johnson on being a first ballot Hall of Famer and having a productive year in 26. Both guys are just as good as one another. Trade AJ, get Jeremiah Smith next year. That kid is special at Ohio State. I think he's going to be the best wide receiver in the history of that program. AJ's Butterfingers. AJ is not Butterfingers. AJ is Butter Mind. Okay? Jason Kelsey got scared off by Bob Lang and didn't really want to sit there and tell the truth. He's not mentally tough. Who do you think Hurts is? McNabb? He's not going anywhere with trash at wide receiver. So you think that Mike Evans and Devontae Smith would be trash? What do you think he didn't go anywhere with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? He's Bob Stiff on the active roster. Does Cam Coleman remind you of A.J. Brown, Sills? A.J. Brown reminds me of a lesser Michael Irvin. If that makes sense, Tex. Or like a T.O. Just not that good. A.J. Brown's not Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is superior to the guy. Tell you what, though, A.J.'s pretty smart social media-wise. He's a smart dude, social media. Okay? Seals, come on, Mike Evans and Lane Johnson do different things. Really? No shit. One's a receiver and an offensive tackle. I'm talking about being a productive guy at their respected positions. You didn't follow along with that? So what? You think Mike Evans plays offensive tackle, or I thought that? Who'd you think I was? Jason McIntyre? I know the difference, Prince, between a wideout and OT. They're both premium positions. You think I'm Jason McIntyre? Got to be mentally tough to play in Philly. Well, you got to be mentally tough to play 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. By the way, I'm not telling you Mike Evans is some answer either. By the way, it's a great comment. I'm glad we're here. Do you guys believe in coincidences? Seals, if we let go Lane, your take, how are we going to replace a Hall of Famer? If we keep him, your take today, he sold what is it? Sills, if we let go of Lane, your take, how are we going to replace Hall of Famer if we keep him? Your take today. He sold what is it? Not sure, Martin, what we're saying here, but put it over here, and if we can put the wording together, okay? Martin, I'll put it back up there. All right. How many people believe in coincidences? Do you believe in coincidences? He's old. So is Lane old. Do you guys believe in coincidences? Like a coincidence. You do. See, I don't believe in any of that shit. I think people do things for a reason. It depends. I think people do things for a reason. You think NFL teams do things and it's coincidence? Not when it's a repeated pattern. Okay. It's calculated. So, Kyle, yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs, they freed up $43.4 million of cap space. And Mahomes was going to have about a $75 million cap hit on his contract going into 26. Okay? Prince, follow me here. They freed up $43.5 million. What do you think they did that for? Chiefs getting Pickens. Sorry, Dallas. Oh, I don't think it's Pickens. Why do you think they did that? Sounds like inside trading to me. They're making a move for AJ. Get him out of the conference. Put AJ Brown with the Chiefs. Evans and Hill they're getting. Why in God's name would you want that scumbag Tyreek Hill? Why would you want that scumbag? Everywhere he goes, he's a scumbag. No, thank you. 3 years ago, he was voted the greatest player in the game by the top players in pro football. You know that 100 list? And the Kansas City Chiefs said, get this asshole out of here. Why would they bring that asshole back? Okay? Why would they bring that asshole back? Headache. Sue, the guy's evil. It's one thing that T.O. was never evil. Tyreek Hill's an evil dude. Domestic violence cases, all that shit. I don't want any of that near my football team. Talk about a cancer. Tyreek Hill is an ultimate cancer. He's a cancer in your locker room. He's a cancer in life. Look, I don't wish anybody to lose their gig, but the guy's a scumbag. I'm not bringing that into my team. I'm trying to get better. I'm not trying to have lower character. Okay? Guy's a scumbag. Beats women. All that shit. I'm not having any of that. I have no interest in it. Dude, don't hit women. Don't be mean to elderly. And don't hurt animals. Those three things have to be a rule in my locker room. Everything else is all good. I'll work with you. Okay? No, that was the Eagles that wanted him. They were working on a contract to get Deshaun Watson in the building. No, that was the Eagles. You forgot the Eagles also had a 3-year deal and were trying to entice him to go to Philly. You forgot the Eagles, Emrayes. So Coach Reed has dealt with all types of shitheads. And if he let Hill walk, that says a lot. No shit. That's exactly correct. Not bringing that scumbag in. However, guys, how about this? Okay? Kansas City Chiefs are going to make a trade for A.J. Brown. Let's take a look at what ESPN says. Front page, NFL, ESPN. This ain't my shit. Trade offers for Eagles, A.J. Brown, and for potential new teams. Where do you think they got that from? Adam Schefter. He's the one that's putting this out. So here. Cleveland Browns. This is Jeremy Fowler putting his name on this one. Jeremy Fowler. Eagles get 2026 first-round pick. Number 24, Browns get Brown. Why this deal makes sense. The Browns have 2 first-round picks, 6 and 24, after the Travis Hunter deal of 25. They could use 6 on an offensive lineman, 24 in exchange to get Brown. Kind of the same way that the Eagles used their draft pick 2, and they got from the Saints, I believe, so they can go get Brown. This would immediately upgrade new head coach Todd Monken's offense, given the pass game, an insane offensive player. Cleveland's wide receivers room totaled 1,467 in receiving yards. It was the worst in pro football. Browns general manager Andrew Berry is an ex-Eagle executive who has a rapport with Roseman. Cleveland has also an opportunity to have a very good passing game if they were able to do that. Can't trust you. Your said Lane would be gone. For them to be, okay, can't trust me? If you think then, Martin, how about this one? Why are you making a statement then that you're coming back for a 14th season if you weren't thinking about retiring? Martin, go sit down in the fucking corner. Thanks for the super chat. Let's go here. You made a public statement that you were coming back. It was 50-50 whether you were going to retire or not. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't see a statement that, let's see here, that Goddard's retiring. Hey, congratulations, you're coming back. Why would you make a statement if you weren't contemplating retiring? What a dumbass comment. Buffalo Bills, Dan Graziano. These guys are all putting their name on a potential trade. All on a potential trade. They're putting their name on it. They're talking to somebody. Okay? Eagles get the Buffalo Bills. First round pick, 26th. The Bills get A.J. Brown. Why this deal makes sense. Whether general manager Brandon Beane thinks so or not, quarterback Josh Allen could really benefit from a true number 1 receiver to stress the defense. And Brown's 26th contract is not an overpay financially for a top wideout. It's tough to imagine Buffalo getting a surefire instant impact playmaker and putting him in at wide receiver in the NFL draft. Completely agree. Completely agree. By the way, these aren't mine. Let's go to another one. Front page of ESPN. Ben Slowik's offer. Eagles get 2027 second round pick and a 27 fourth round conditional that could turn to a third, and wide receiver Rashad Bateman. Ravens get Brown. Why this deal makes sense. One of the clear lessons of the Ravens 25 season was that their current group of pass catchers is insufficient. While they might not need to make a move this drastic, they would benefit from having a receiver with size and contestable ability. Something quarterback Lamar Jackson has never enjoyed in his 7 seasons in Baltimore. By acquiring him for Bateman, the Ravens can give Brown a true wide receiver volume number 1. Zay Flowers would be wide receiver number 2. That would look insane. Okay? Why not just say lanes year to year? Why don't you say that? Leave the content to Big Cells. Okay? Zay Flowers and AJ in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. How you doing? By the way, you see this douchebag? This is on the front page of ESPN and all their people who cover the league. Keep sitting there, kid. Go post your shit on your X account. Let's see. Next one. Patriots. Okay. Seth Walder's offer. Eagles get 2026 first round pick, number 31. I like this. Look at this. Hey, how about this one? So the Eagles would get the 31st pick in the NFL draft and a 2026 third round and a 2026 sixth round. And the Patriots get Brown, 2026, and the Patriots would have to get up. It says here, Patriots get Brown and a 2026 second round pick. That's what the exchange would be. Eagles get the 31st pick in 26 and a third round pick in 26 and a sixth round pick in 26. The Patriots would get Brown and a 2026 second round pick. Remember, these are not my deals. Why this deal makes sense? The Patriots made it to the Super Bowl with a lacking receiver group. And that only one player who posted over 600 yards receiving. Can you imagine that? So wait a minute. Drake May threw for let me double check that. Drake May threw for 4,000 passing yards? No, can't be. He threw for $4,000 with not one receiver with over 600 yards receiving. That can't be. Let me see here. And this guy sucks? Who said that? Let's see here. No, can't be. Come on. So Drake May threw for 4,394 yards and 31 touchdowns. And yeah, Stephon Diggs had 1,000 yards. He had 1,000. Then another guy had 768. Yeah. So which one of these deals do you like? Which one of these deals? Brown for Gonzalez. Can it happen? Martin, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to want it. Martin, let's do this, Martin. You wouldn't want this one? Of all these deals, I like this Patriots one. I get the 31st pick in the draft, which means Howie would have what, 23 and 31? And I get a 26 third round pick, which you don't have. Wait. You have the Jets third rounder, don't you? Don't you have the Hassan Reddick third? I thought you had two threes. I thought you had two threes. You sent yours to Miami for Jalen Phillips, right? And you have the Reddick third round pick, which is the more volume pick, correct? I think that's how that worked. So here. So this is ESPN's offer here. 2026 first round pick. I like it, 31. A 26 third rounder. And a 26 sixth rounder. You know how he uses them six rounders. He's great at 5, 6, and 7s during the season. The Patriots get your 2 in 26 and Brown. How many people like that deal? Would you take that deal? Would you take that? Here, let's see this. The Pats deal sucks. There's zero proven capability. Still preaches potential is bullshit, but here he is feeding us the bullshit. It's because the player wants out. The player wants out. You have no other choice. Seals, you can also trade back in the early second round, pick up some picks, and get wide receiver Chris Bell. Okay? Potential. Bro, fucking player wants out. Only people in Philadelphia believe he's staying. And by the way, if you bring him back and this guy wasn't happy when you won the Super Bowl. He's going to be happy now. Hey, Flexen, those aren't my trades. Flexen, those aren't my trades. Those are ESPN's trades. Got me wrong, dude. Wrong dude. He's 23 and 31 to move up to the top 15. Okay? Hey, how about this one? So here, you think somebody's going to be happy with a brand new offense when the player wasn't happy when he won a Super Bowl? That'll give the Patriots the best wide receiver room with Diggs and AJ. And you get your draft picks. And get this, if you lose Jalen Phillips, hey guys, I'm going to tell you one more time. Jalen Phillips, I love the player. I'm sorry. I'm not giving that guy $20 million. What has he accomplished? Let's take a look at this. Crosby for Brown. I'll do that and let Phillips go. They're not going to do that. It's not enough. They're going to want multiple ones. So let's take a look at Jalen Phillips and what he's done in his career. By the way, you know what Jalen Phillips reminds me of? All you guys' bullshit last year about telling me how great Nolan Smith was going to be in 25. Turned out to be the guy was just a dude. Like I told you he would be. I told you Jalen Hunt would be better, and he was. Let's see here. You know, because you saw 7 great games. You guys saw 7 games last year or the year before in the Super Bowl year, and you were trying to convince yourselves that that was going to be a precursor to shit to come, that you were going to see Nolan Smith turn out to be this superstar edge rusher. Really? I told you he would never be. I didn't say Jalen Hunt would have a better season than Nolan Smith. I told you he'd never live up to what he did the last 7 games of the year. That's not a lie, fuckbag. You may think that's a lie because you want to listen to what you want to hear. I told you that guy would never live up to that. You guys were the ones that were saying he was going to take what he did, and then you guys were talking in the offseason $25 million for the guy. I was like, you're high. No. I said, no. I told you he'd have a better year than Nolan Smith. And that he would lead the fucking team in sacks. And he did. Once again, you're wrong. Okay. So here, let me take a look at your boy here. And take a look at Jalen Phillips. And I told you I love the kid. Okay, let's take a look at him. Okay. Drafted him by the Dolphins. Let's take a look. His first year, 8.5. Very good. Second year, 7. Outside of the first 3 years, his production, what did he end up with this year? 7? That's not terrible. So he had 7 sacks this year. Played 9 games with the Dolphins, and he had 8 with the Eagles. So in 17 games, he had 7 sacks. Not terrible. He had 29 total tackles. Different system. Okay. He hangs around 30. So, 8.5, 7, 6.5. He got hurt in 24. And combined with Philly and Miami, he had 5 sacks this year. He had 5 sacks. And he had 29 tackles. Okay. 5 sacks and 29 tackles? That's $30 million. Okay. He has an all-star injury report. I don't see him really missing. Well, here, 23 played 8 games. It's good. You're right. Since 2023, he's not played. Well, he played 17 games this year. Okay. In 23, he played 8. In 24, he played 4. So this last season is the first full season since his second year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. He's been in the league 5 years, and he hasn't played a full season since year 2, when he went for 15 starts, played in 17 ball games. His first 2 years, he had 15 and a half sacks in 2 years. That's good. And that 6.5 in 8 games is not bad either. I think that 23 season, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the year that Vic was the DC down there too. Okay? Yeah. Hey, Martin, if you think I said that Nolan Smith was going to be a good player this year, show me where I said that. Show me where I said Nolan Smith. You're the ones that were saying $25 million. I never said that. I never said that. I never thought he was going to play like that. I had never once said that Nolan Smith was a $25 million player. You guys were the ones talking about money for him. I'm the one that told you no, Jalix Hunt would outplay him. Okay? Watch him deflect. What are you talking about? When did I say that? You're the one, Prince, that said Nolan Smith was going to be all pro or a Pro Bowler. I never. When did I say that? Deflecting what? Curious. Deflecting what? Sil said Nolan Smith wouldn't duplicate 24. They're gonna basically tell you I never said that. Did my boy send one in? Sills, that is a lie. You said Hunt was somebody. Yeah, I did when they drafted him. And remember what I also said? No. I didn't. I did say that when they drafted him at a Baptist Christian. You said he was a nobody. I did say that, yes. And then when we started watching him play, he got better and better and better. The kid produced, and I said he'd have a better season than Nolan Smith. You're forgetting that part of it too, Marsh. Thanks for the super. Nolan Smith sucks. Get me Chubb. See you later, Phillips. I did say that at draft day. I never knew who he was. Okay? He wants out. Plus, he has to agree to restructure. That's correct. For him to move, he's got to lie or what? Flexing, lying on what? I said the guy, I never heard of him. He was a 3rd-round pick. The guy turned out to be somebody. We started seeing him coming on more, and I even said it. We were wrong on Hunt. The guy got better. I saw more upside with Hunt. I said by the end of the year, Hunt would have a better season than Smith. What are you talking about? That's not a lie. And by the way, Flexen, why in the fuck would I lie to you? You got to be kidding me. Crazy. It's not that important. Sills, how about we trade Nolan Smith in a second this year? So how he's not going to do that? You know why, Chris? He's not going to do that because he loses value of the pick. Chargers are releasing Becton. Why would you bring him back? Especially with the different style of pass protection you're going to do. Okay? You were dogging Hunt last year. Lies. I wasn't dogging Hunt. I said Hunt actually showed up by the end of the season. That's not true. I dogged him at the beginning with the draft in the 3rd round. That's true. Other than that, I said he'd be a better player than Nolan Smith, and he is. Bro, once again, you don't listen. Some of you, you know what's funny? I'll make a topic up. I'll say a topic. Somehow it becomes somebody else's topic, and they fucking forget where they got it from. And all of a sudden, it's their narrative. But that's okay because that happens all over that city. Yeah, okay, guy. Whatever. They need to acquire draft picks big time and hit on guys to retool this team. Like I said, I'm not in any way whatsoever going to pay Jalen Phillips $23 million. That's not happening. Okay? Absolutely. Ask him. Ask him what? Okay. I think Xander has in his books still said Hunt would outperform Nolan. I did say that. They don't want to hear it because we were nails on our predictions last year. Nolan showed up at the end of the season into the playoffs. Yeah, okay, guy. Yeah, that's why they went out and traded for Jalen Phillips because why? Nolan was playing great ball, right? Or was he hurt again? I don't remember. To be fair, Nolan Smith was injured. Gee, go figure. Go figure. Okay? Gee, go figure. Let's see here. Seals, the only want to hear what they want. I remember you saying that I never miss a show. It's okay. Yeah, because you know what they hear things in their own brains. It's okay. It's all good. I appreciate you, my friend. If we sign Becton, we can, dude. Becton's not going to help you. Jeff Stoutland's not here anymore. Who? Chris Cooper? I guess Hurts and Nolan have the same seasonal trajectory then. Both showing up in the final 3 games of a year. I mean, I remember people talking about paying Nolan Smith $25 million. And I was like, never happened. Never happened. I would consider Becton back at the right price, not me. That I like. Sayamalo. I think Sayamalo would be a good resign. Okay? Guys are good, man. I really like those guys being on the program. We're not abandoning the run game. Well, then why did you fire Stoutland? I trade Nolan Smith. He's always hurt. How he's not trading the 30th pick in the draft for a 5th rounder? That makes him look like a douche. You kidding? You trade Nolan. When did you draft Nolan Smith? What year? Let me see if that's out of the reach now. Let me see. What was the year you drafted him? Was it 21 that you drafted Nolan Smith? What year did you draft? What year did you draft him? 21? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or was it 22 that you guys drafted Nolan Smith? It was 23. So 23. So you're telling me in 2 years, Howie Roseman's going to trade the 31st pick in the draft for a 3rd round pick. That's a failure pick. That's a failure pick. Okay? I mean, by the way, here, let me do this here. I think that's interesting. I like that. Eagles. Year-to-year draft. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Year-to-year draft. Let's go back. Let's see. Let's go back to the Jordan Davis. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 3 years. Let's do 3 years. Okay? The last 3 years. So you tell me how well that the draft has gone for the Eagles. So let's take a look. Let's go back the last 3 years. Jalen Carter. You think Jalen Carter's lived up to the 9th pick in the draft? Over underachieved. Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter. What do you think? Under. Did they tie? Keep me updated, Cam. USA just tied? Great. Good. Thanks, guys. RC3 thinks that Jalen Carter's overachieved. How many people think he's overachieved? We're about to find out. If he gets a contract extension. Definitely under. I think Jalen Carter. Boy. 24, he was really good. 25, I didn't think he was good. And the 23 season at the end, I didn't think he was great. But there's so much talent. So I'm going to say this. That pick is worthy of where they took him at 9. How about Nolan Smith? Over, underachieve. So Carter, I'm going to put yes. Carter, yes. Yes, no. Carter, yes. How about Nolan Smith? Over, underachieve. He was hurt. You drafted him hurt. No. And that's a 1. Okay. Let's go to the next guy. Jadix Hunt. Yes. And, excuse me, my bad. I'm still in 23. Tyler Steen. That's your 3rd pick. Tyler Steen. Excuse me. We'll get to Hunt. We'll do Hunt in the next 24. Steen. Over, under. Yes or no? Has he overachieved or underachieved? Steen is a wash. He's a guy. I'm going to say, I think over. You found a starter. He's starting. If he gets beat out this year, then he's underachieved at the 3rd round. So I'm going to say he's a starter. I think that's a yes. I think that's a good pick. Okay? So I think that's a good pick. Prince, he's a starter. You're drafting starters. You're not looking to draft all pros. You're looking to draft a starter. Do I think he's replaceable? I completely do. Do I think he's a guy who will be beat out if they bring in some quality guys? I do. But he starts. So I'm going to go Steen's yes. He's a starter. Now, if he gets beat out, it'll be underachieve. The like button, we appreciate you guys. Here, let's do this again. How about Sidney Brown? Third-round pick, over, under, achieve. I think under. That's a third-round pick. So a 1 and a 3 have failed so far in our eyes. Nolan Smith and Sidney Brown have underachieved. Is that fair? A 1 and a 3. Okay? What about Will Shipley? What do you think? Will Shipley. What pick was he? 4th round. I would say this. Push. He's a special teams guy. Incomplete. He's on the team. Only reason he's on the team is because how we drafted him. But he's a special teams guy. 4th round special teams. He's not really a contributor to the team, except on special teams. 4th round, I don't know. I'm going to put incomplete. He's a guy. Amos Smith. What do you think? Amos Smith. Over, underachieve. What do you think? As a matter of fact, I should look. 3 years. It's a long time in the NFL. Okay? I should do this exercise here with Z. Let's go back here. We're going to go back here a little bit. Go back here. Let me see. Last 3 years. We're going to go from 2023. We're going to do this with Xander here. So let me go up here for a second here. Let me go back here. And let's take a look at how he's done in the draft since the last 3 years here. So we'll go back here. Without further ado, by the way, let me keep an eye on Team USA. How you doing? Tied up at the end of 3. We're going to OT, baby. That American flag up. Let's go. How you doing? Hit that like button. Appreciate it all. Don't forget, Howard Eskin will join us also. That'll be at 4:30. Without further ado, we bring our guy in. He is Big Zay, Xander Krause. He joins us now. How you doing? First and foremost, my friend. By the way, you look good. Lane coming back. Take away real quick on it.
Good. Biggest question is what Lane, is he long in the tooth at this age? I think it's a fair question, but always good to see Lane Johnson coming back. So I think it's a good thing overall. So I'll say this to you. As concerned as one might be on how many games he's going to play, do you believe that the replacement, whoever it would be, whether it's Fred or somebody else, would be better in those games? I don't think so. So I'll take Lane for whatever I can get him for, my friend.
How about this? 13 north of it and playoffs would be great, right?
Ooh, 13's a lot. Feels a lot. I'm with you though. Yeah, misses 4 games and get the playoffs. I'm with you. Yep, that's right in the mark of where I am as well.
36 years old when the season starts. Okay, 36 years old. Hey, so you think A.J. Brown's trolling us when he went on that podcast, or do you think there's still something here to this thing? Everybody else has him gone, bro.
I think he might be trolling us a little bit, but that's kind of AJ, right? He kind of likes to troll. I mean, I'm talking to somebody who might appreciate a little bit of something like that here and there. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Maybe you know a thing or two about trolling people, so especially the Philadelphia fans. Maybe he's trolling, but I think the Eagles might keep him, dude. I'm starting to feel like they're going to keep him. You don't think so at all?
No way.
Because there's basically no scenario that exists where it would be a winning move for the Eagles.
Who says it's the winning move? It's the move that to get somebody. Dude, you want, like John says, you want volunteers. You don't want prisoners.
Yeah, but I'm not going to build my entire team around that. I'm not going to let you hold me hostage.
So do you believe in coincidences, or do you believe people do things for a reason?
What kind of question is that?
Do you think people do things like when people do something?
Welcome
you
to
think
Psychology 101.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
Okay, a little bit of
There's
both.
definitely some coincidences.
Okay, what about releasing and getting $43.5 million worth of cap space? What do you think the Chiefs might be thinking about doing?
Oh, what do you think they're going to give us? Do you think they want AJ?
Why not? You're out of the conference. You don't have to worry about him.
If
He
I'm
goes
them, I'd
to-
bring back Tyreek Hill on a bargain deal.
Okay, hey, you think that they released all that money to do what? Go get Juju Smith-Schuster? They're going to get themselves a player. They're going to get themselves – can you imagine A.J. Brown and fucking – can you imagine him in KC? Hey, bro, he wants to put another ring on his finger. And where's he going to get that with the best quarterback in pro football?
Oh, bullshit.
You don't think Mahomes is the best quarterback in pro football?
I do think he's the best quarterback in pro football, but that is not proven to be true that the best quarterback in pro football gives you the best chance to win a Super Bowl.
Let's just say this. Say he doesn't get the best when it comes to winning the Super Bowl. You think A.J. Brown getting all those targets in Kansas City, what do you think he runs up with this year? 1495, 15 touchdowns. So let's say he falls short of the Super Bowl goal. But you know what he's not going to fall short of on the other end? Is 1493 and 15.
So why do you care, though? Why does that matter to us?
I didn't say it mattered to me. It matters to him.
So you think the Eagles should make their decisions around A.J. Brown, making sure he gets his couple extra 100 receiving yards?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Do I want to see a fucking another guy sitting on the sidelines reading War and Peace?
No, I don't.
And crying and fucking ripping everybody
That
about
dude got
the
to quit pouting. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay, I mean, dude, just stop crying. Okay, so ESPN has some really nice numbers here. Front page of ESPN. Trade offers for Eagles A.J. Brown. This ain't even me.
You just love this time of the year.
God. This is the best.
Love it.
Here's Jeremy Fowler. Eagles get a 2026 first-round pick, number 24, for A.J. Brown. Remember, Andrew Berry's in the building. He's boys with Howie. What do you make of that?
Send him to Cleveland?
You get the 24th pick, and you would have the 23rd pick.
Why do you think you're getting a first rounder for AJ?
Whoa. This ain't me. This is Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. These are ESPN guys.
That would be like the ultimate FU to AJ, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Going to Cleveland?
All right, bro. You wanted your numbers. Go get him in Cleveland with who? Shador? Is Shador going to be their quarterback? I don't even know.
I'm assuming.
You think it's going to be Shador?
Yeah, because I don't think there's anybody in that draft that's worth a shit. I think Shador Sanders, if he would have came out in the and stayed another year, which he had a year of eligibility, I think he would have been a first round pick. Over who? Who's the second stiff guy that's coming out in the draft, right? So here's Dan Graziano. Eagles get the 2026 Buffalo Bills first round pick at 26. The Bills get Brown. Would you do it?
For the 20-something pick? Yeah.
26th pick? You send them to Buffalo.
Yeah, I would do that. Anything first rounder, I think the Eagles would do.
Okay.
I don't think they're getting first rounder.
These aren't Big Sills' trades. Ben Slowik's offer. Here's one for you. I think you may like this. 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 fourth-round pick, conditional, which could turn to a third, and you get receiver Rashad Bateman. Ravens get Brown.
You just love all these trades. Give me whatever gives the Eagles the most. How's that for an answer for you? I want the most back for AJ.
You don't have to get huffy. You don't have to get huffy.
So what do you want me to do?
You don't have to get huffy. Guy doesn't want to be here. The only people that are praying that he stays is people in Philly. All right. So
that's not true.
Let's see here. I want to get Big Z's take.
Well, wait. What a dumb comment. I mean, who cares about what receivers stay in anywhere? Only their fans. The Philly fans care about George Pickens staying in Dallas? No, only Dallas fans care.
Okay. Why would A.J. Brown want to stay in an offense where he's not sure what the offense is going to look like?
I am so confused why your entire premise is what A.J. Brown wants. A.J., if you want to make every decision, go start a company, go start your own football team, go play in the UFL, do whatever you want.
No, he wants
can't make every decision for the Eagles.
No, he wants a new zip code.
So good. Give him one if he's going to cry about it to the hell or high water.
Oh, okay.
Or tell him to sit down and shut up the direct deposit hits on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what he'll do. This guy was moaning and crying when you were doing a parade. Let me ask you that question. Do you think A.J. Brown was happy during the parade or was he not?
They said I was a diva. That's what he said at the parade. He said I was a diva. That's what his speech was, right?
Okay. Why in God's name would A.J. Brown want to bitch and cry about?
I just don't know why your North Star is A.J. Brown's happiness. Who gives a shit?
Oh, I care about A.J.
But let me ask you, as a man, are you happy?
No.
Me neither. No, me neither. Are you listening? Are you happy if you're listening? No. I mean, holy crap, we're like doing everything we can to placate to this guy's happiness. He's a little upset about the offense.
But then again, I'm psycho, so I'm never. I could have $1 billion in my pocket and I wouldn't be happy. So it's not a fair question to ask me, man. I mean,
I agree. I'm with you.
It's not that. All right, so I want to take you to the draft, Xander. I'm going to take you to the last 3 years, and I want your professional grading. I saw you guys today talking to that Paisan. Who'd you have on? What was that Paisan's name today, the draft guru guy?
Rick Saratello.
Eric Saratello. I actually liked it. It was good. It was a great segment.
Great, yeah, I love Rick.
I really do. And I'm kidding. Hey, guys, make sure you go check that segment out. It was really great. Okay. So let's get Big Z's professional takeaways. Now that he's a legendary guy in Philly now on the air. Here we go. From 2023. Let's go there. 3 years. That is a huge time in the NFL. So I'm going to ask you about how he's drafting here. Jalen Carter. I'm glad we went back on this instead of just me doing it. Over, under.
I'm going to be ready to blow my head off by the end of the segment today. I can tell.
Jalen Carter, you think he's over underachieved being the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL draft?
I think he's been about a push, but I'd say right there. I mean, he's pretty good. Pretty good player for a first-round pick. I mean, if you look through that draft, probably not many players there that much better than him. But
okay, I agree with you. 9, I think he's worth it. First-round pick, Nolan Smith, over under.
That's an under for sure.
Nolan, first-round Smith.
There we go.
Under. What about your boy Tyler Steen?
He's a third-rounder.
That's a pretty big premium pick.
Yeah, all right. And he started this year. His third year in the league. I think that's good.
I agree.
Milton Williams didn't start till his third year in the league.
Hey, dude, I think if you get a starter in the draft.
Yeah, so I'm good with Steen in round 3.
Yep. Right now, and if he gets beat out, that's a different conversation. But right now, I think that's a good pick. How about the greatness of Sidney Brown at 3? Over underachieve.
Was he a third rounder? I thought he was
third round pick.
Oh, that's a tough one there. That's a bad one. That's an underachieve.
Sidney Brown. So a 1 and a 3 out of that draft look like dog shit so far. Nolan's not dog shit, but he's not. You're expecting.
He's not a wow. He's not a wower. But I kind of want to see. He's shown me a couple things.
He could be a late bloomer.
He showed me a couple things. It's not like he showed nothing, but he's got some ways to go. First, he's got to stay healthy.
Keely Ringo, number 4, over underachieve.
He's an underachiever, but he's a 4th-round pick.
Okay, Keely Ringo.
He's a day 3 pick.
So was Josh Sweat. Let's see here. Okay. Wait, it's going to get better, though. Tanner McKee. Over under.
It's fine. It's a push. He's a backup quarterback. 6th round.
Well, I think that's over.
Dude, he's played in like 2 games. I mean, he's a good backup.
Well, I think the Eagles think a lot of him. I don't think they think he's dog shit.
I don't either.
For a 6th-round pick? Bro, he started some games for you? 6th-round pick? Tom Brady was a fucking 6th-round pick. I'm okay with that pick. Moro Jomo. Over under.
Over.
You can make the argument he's the 2nd best player taken in that draft. That's a fucking hell of a draft. Even with the shit performances by Smith and Brown. Dude, your lower end of your draft in that year, Howie did a better job from 4 down. That's pretty damn good. All right. This is going to be an interesting one. Quinyon Mitchell, way over. Koopa, way over.
Whatever.
Hunt, way over. Will Shipley.
Under. Wait, you realize that you can do this with every GM in football because none of them hit a hundo pay.
There's that famous line. I can do this with anybody. Hang on
you
here,
can.
man. I'm talking about your great GM and the drafting. That's all. I don't think there's anything. I don't think this has been shit. I think it's been great so far. Let's see here.
Oh, Sileo. I'm stressed.
Anus Smith. What are you thinking?
And they were saying you were skipping him. Yeah, he's an L. He's an L today.
How about Trotter?
Trotter, I think, is all right. He's a 5th round. He's good on special teams. I'll go with Trotter.
And you know what? When they put him in at the end, I thought he was all right too. Keegan, not very good. Johnny Wilson.
Where is Keegan? Is he still in Dallas?
I thought he was with the Rams, but he's with Dallas, you think?
Well, no, he was with Dallas for a little bit when he left us.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't keep track of stiffs.
Okay. So let's see here.
That was a Sileo line if anybody didn't pick up.
So you got Mitchell, DeJean, and Hunt. And Trotter. It's not bad. You get 3 or 4 guys out of a draft, pretty damn good. Last year, Campbell, great. What do you think of Andrew Makuba? Now, some of these are too early. Some of the stuff's too early.
Year 1. I actually thought Makuba was okay for year 1. I mean, he started when he was healthy. That's pretty good for late. Remember, he was the last pick in the 2nd round, I think.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. So, yes, I mean, what do you make of Ty Robinson?
Ty is a big question mark, but I don't think he's going to pan out to what I thought he was going to when he was originally drafted.
How do you think Howie's done the last 3 years in the draft?
Good. We got good players. I mean, why is our defense good?
Okay.
You know, our defense has been a big part of the team the last 3 years. It's not because he went out and signed a bunch of players. No. It's not because he went out and traded for a bunch of players, because he drafted players.
Okay. That's correct. I'm trying to figure out how many guys are on 2nd-year contracts that you drafted on defense. You picked up
just Bond. That's it.
You didn't draft him.
Oh, that we drafted. Well, no, their contracts haven't come.
Okay. Okay, so
I mean, Brandon Graham, but that's
no. I'm talking about future guys here. Yeah, you gave the 5th-year option to Jordan Davis, so you could probably count that as some sort of
that's still rookie contract. That's still rookie to me.
That's still the rookie deal. You're right.
Yeah, that's still the rookie deal. That's not a 2nd deal.
It's going to be interesting to see what you. Hey, Jalen Phillips, bro, I love the guy. What don't you think that you're looking at him the same way people looked at Nolan Smith at the end of the season, when Nolan Smith had like a really good stretch run with 7 games? Could you not be looking at Jalen Phillips the same way? I mean, what's he accomplished as a player, in your opinion?
Jalen Phillips, I mean, he's a good player. Like, he does everything pretty well. And that's what you need in the Vic Fangio defense. But he doesn't do anything exceptional.
To the tune of $23 million?
I got 3 years, $66 million. 40 guaranteed. What do you think?
3 years. So you want to pay him 20?
22.
Man. That's a lot, man.
That's not that much, dude. Micah Parsons is making double and a half that.
Yeah, well.
Micah Parsons is making 46 large, dog.
Yeah, but I could pay $13 million for, like I told you yesterday, to Chubb and get the same guy.
I don't know if you can, dude. Are your numbers outdated?
No, he had 8.5. He had 8.5. He had 8.5 sacks last year, Chubb.
I know, but I'm saying, are your numbers outdated in terms of the cap? I mean, the cap's up to 304, man. Contracts go up.
How you think Howie wouldn't overpay for Milton last year? Why would he overpay for Jalen this year?
Because he doesn't
drafted him.
He doesn't have defensive ends in the wings like he did defensive tackles. I mean, look, I know we can all look back and say, man, I wish we signed Milton Williams, but I would surmise this to everybody. I bet you 95% of the people, given if they were in Howie's shoes and they knew the contracts and the cap space like Howie does, they would make the same move. Milton was always going to be very hard for the Eagles to pay when you drafted Jalen Carter. Always. Now, he turned into be an amazing player. I don't think that makes Howie wrong. I mean, seriously, if you go back to last year, would you have signed Milton? And answer honestly. I don't think we would.
Okay. Honestly, I would have tried to bring one of them back, Sweat, or if I knew I was going to move off of Bryce Huff and I knew I was going to free up Bryce Huff's money.
Yeah, I would have paid Sweat.
And you know what? Maybe not Milton because it was 26 and it was a little north of the money that I wanted to pay. But I may have tried to bring Sweat back. Sweat only got 19, dude.
I know. That was a good deal for Sweat. That was cheap.
Arizona got him cheap, and he had what? And he had 14 sacks this year.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, Josh Sweat had a great year. You know, actually, both those guys had really good years.
They did. They both are good players. They are both good players. It was tough to let him go. I just think hindsight's always 20/20. You can look and be like, oh, yeah, we should have signed him. It's like, I don't know. I mean, if you were in Howie's shoes and you looked at the money, you'd probably be like, all right, I got to wait for Carter. I can't pay Milton Williams $28 million. You know?
I want to ask you one more time here on Jalen Carter's extension. When do you believe this is going to happen?
Jalen Carter? Probably next year at this point.
Okay. Then the question comes back, why did they mortgage the 25 season then by not signing anybody this offseason? If they let Phillips go and they don't extend Carter, why did you let all them guys go then?
Because they were trying to build up their cash reserves. I mean, you know, that's the way they do it. They pay a lot of cash up front, you know, and those signing bonuses, there's a reason how we can do the contracts the way he does. So I get your point, but I think they were looking at it like their cash was too depleted and the margin for error would then become too small. They wanted to give themselves buffer room in the account, build back up their cash. So if they did need to make a signing of somebody, they had the cash to be able to structure the deal like they wanted. Now, Carter's play changed when they're going to do it, but they still built up the cash. So I think that's the way they wanted to go, man. And I don't necessarily disagree with them.
It's going to be interesting. By the way, Team USA, baby, we got it. Gold medal, man. How you doing?
Congrats to the USA. Was it the women's hockey team? Right?
Yep, women beat the Canadian team. Hey, Kim, was it good? Awesome. Love it. Team USA. All you stiffs that sit there, it is. USA beats Canada overtime. Women claim gold. How you doing, baby? That's America. Instead of seeing some of those stiff dudes bitching and crying about my fucking country, this is what we're talking about here, baby. USA. How you doing? And it may not be Lake Placid right there, homie, but it's kind of right there.
I love Lake Placid. I'll wear my Lake Placid quarter zip tomorrow. The men's team plays.
Yes. You see that comeback? You got to watch. See the comeback. They came back. They dropped it in 91 seconds left. They tied it. Then they went in overtime, and they got it. And Hughes got the goal, and they win 2-1 against.
Yeah, I saw that. Hughes is sick. Yeah, that was sick.
Now I'm going to bring it back down.
Who does USA play more? I haven't followed the Olympics that much, man. And normally I'm a big
Canada almost got beat by the Czechs. And so they came back.
I'm an Olympic guy, especially winter. I like winter, but haven't watched much, man.
Ratings have been great. 24 million people have watched that thing, man.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, ratings have been absolutely great. Now let me bring you back down again.
Uh-oh.
What do you make about signing Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup?
Why? You got Tanner McKay.
Okay. I'm talking about a guy.
I'm
talking about a guy who could win. I don't have a problem with him. Okay, but I'll put him in the 3-hole here. How about Jimmy Garoppolo? You guys went to a Super Bowl.
I'm good. I'm good on Jimmy G. All right.
Wait. He works.
I'll let some other stiff pay you.
Why do you think I said Jimmy Garoppolo? Because he's with Sean McVay. Aren't you guys implementing a Sean McVay offense?
Tanner McKee can handle it. He's good.
Oh, he can.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to pay $10 million to Jimmy G?
No, he's making only $3 million.
You'd be an awful general manager.
Wait, he makes $2.5 million.
You'd be a trash GM.
Dude, he makes less than that stiff kicker of yours.
Dude, you and Senor would be two of the worst GMs in all the world.
You think $3 million for a backup quarterback's a lot?
You know who'd be an incredible GM? Me.
Who?
I'd be phenomenal.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. I'll tell you this, Jimmy G can handle that West Coast offense more than that quarterback you got now, who's ranked 75th all time and behind Jeff Garcia.
That's an incredible number. 75th all time for Jalen Hurts.
And he's behind Jeff Garcia.
How many NFL QBs of all time?
Let's see.
721 quarterbacks have played at least one game. So Jalen Hurts is a top 10% NFL quarterback in the history of the game of football. By the way, that sounds really low. How is that true?
Yeah, but you know what, though, dude? Well, because there's only been 20,000 people playing the NFL.
Only 721 quarterbacks?
Yeah, that's right.
Why is that so fucking low? There's been 100 years of football and we have 700 quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
That's 7 per year.
Here you go. Here's your boy. Here's your boy Hurts. Here's who ranked ahead of your boy Hurts. It's a fucking lovely list. I love it here too. Look at this. Here comes there's old Dutch. Here comes fucking Jalen. Oh, look at Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett's ranked ahead. Of course he is. He's got 2 wins and a Super Bowl MVP. He's actually there's your boy. Jalen Hurts at 75. Here's the next guy. Here's the guys ranked ahead of Hurts.
Dude, you thinking this is a dunk on Hurts is a bad look. This is not a dunk on
Really?
Hurts.
Here's the quarterbacks they got ranked ahead of him. Jeff Garcia. Vinny
Dude, those are guys who have done their career. Jalen's 5 years in, dude. Let the guy fucking play.
6 going on 7. Dave Craig.
You're making shit up.
I'm not. 6.
Yeah, you are. It's a bullshit. It's great. 5 years in the league and you're already in the top 10%.
He's 6 years in the league.
He's played 5 seasons.
He's 6 years in pro ball.
Okay, and he's played 5 seasons as a starter.
Going on year 7. It's not a lie.
He had to wait for Stiff Wentz to go to the bench.
Okay. Let's see who else is ranked ahead of that guy. Let's see here. Earl Morrall. Matt Hasselbeck. Fucking Jerry Golf. How about Dak? Mark Brunell.
I actually think this is a great compliment for Jalen Hurts. I really do.
Dak is 59. There you go.
I mean, you're telling me Jalen Hurts is the 75th ranked quarterback right now of all time? 5 years into his league? 5 years into his run? I think that's pretty good.
Really? I guarantee you by the time he's finished, he'll be out of that top 100.
Well, how many of the top 100 are in the Hall of Fame? The top 10 or 15? What is it?
Great call. Let's take a look at that. Let's go from 20, because I think from 20 it'll be really a lot. So let's go from the top 20. Okay.
Who put out this stiff list, by the way?
Bleacher Report. Not me. I didn't do it. Okay, so Stafford's at 20. He's going to Hall of Fame. Aikman's in the Hall of Fame, 19. Warner's in the Hall of Fame, 18. That's a good take by you. Staubach, 17, Hall of Fame.
Hurts will be at the top 20 soon.
Roethlisberger will be in the Hall of Fame. Bradshaw is a Hall of Famer. Starr, a Hall of Famer. Tarkington, Hall of Famer. Otto Graham's a Hall of Famer. Unitas is a Hall of Famer. Marino, Hall of Famer. Young. Breeze. Favre. They're all Hall of from 20 up. Actually, let's go down a little further. I think from 25 up, they could be all Hall of Famers. Hang on here. I can't believe there's been that few quarterbacks.
It's funny because the offseason's big sales time. And I can't believe this is what you landed on today to drill on Hurts. I think this makes him look
I didn't drill. I'm not drilling. I brought a list up by Bleacher Report. Warren Moon, 21, Hall of Famer.
You have no nefarious intent with that. Right?
Hey, why do you think so ill of me? 22, Jim Kelly. Wait a minute, 23, Fouts. These are Hall of Famers? Fucking Eli's at 24. That's way overrated. Russell Wilson is not the 25th best quarterback. Baugh is.
Russell Wilson is 20. Oh, this list is no good. This is a shoddy list. I bet your Hurts is already top 50.
Russell Wilson's not a number 25 best quarterback. No way.
That's insane. That is insane.
They got Lamar Jackson at 28.
I can come up with 25 quarterbacks at the top of my head that are better than Russell Wilson.
Phillip Rivers is 32. I think Phillip Rivers
is better than Russell.
He is. Let's see here. Hold on. Josh Allen, they got a 35. Let's see here. You got Randall Cunningham at 39. That's the highest rated quarterback in Eagle history. It's 39th.
Where's Donovan?
Donovan McNabb is 42. They said it. By the way, they said in here, if McNabb had won that Super Bowl against the Patriots,
he'd be top 30.
He'd be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
Landon Dickerson.
Sills is hating on Hurts today.
I'm not hating. I just brought a list up, and you put it in perspective. There's only been how many quarterbacks? I didn't realize there that few.
720? I don't even – is that number right? That doesn't sound right to me.
It does, though. I'll tell you why. In 106 years, there's only been 26,000 men that have ever played the game. And there's only right now 16,420, according to the NFLPA, that are alive. Dude, less than 30,000 men have ever played pro ball.
26 quarterbacks have been elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, you think it's up to Vic if Nakobe Dean comes back?
No. Why would you make a decision about a player based on Vic when Vic was about to retire this year?
Because I would still value his opinion.
It doesn't mean you can value his opinion, but you're not going to make the decision based on it. That's bad business.
Or how about this? Hey, Vic, what do we have to do to keep you here 3 more years? What do you want us to do here? You want us to sign Jalen Phillips? Do you want us to bring back Nakobe?
Yeah, but you're now fighting a different battle. Like, it's not just when you're 70 years old, it's not about just money or what you can get. It's like, I'm against the clock here now. Like, I got, you know what I mean? Like, my 3 years is, there's no player you can give me. I just want to go do something different. I want to spend my last days differently. I don't know. I think Vic is gonzo after this season.
Why are you so gung-ho, to use a phrase,
gung-ho,
that this thing's going to work out with the new coaches?
When have I ever showed you a lick of being gung-ho?
Because you keep glazing to me about your boy, you and Howard, who's coming up at the bottom of the hour, about the greatness of Nick Sirianni. And dude, so I'm like,
it doesn't even make sense. You say the quarterbacks are stiff and the coaches are stiff too. How is a coach so successful if the quarterbacks are stiff?
I said the quarterback's a good player.
That's why Howard thinks Nick is a good coach, because he doesn't think the quarterback is a great quarterback, which is fine. It's a fine opinion. But if Nick is winning with the quarterback that's not so great, I don't think Nick is a bad coach.
Do you believe coaches win sometimes in spite of having really great rosters? Do you think rosters, they win games, they win championships in spite of a coach or a manager?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true in some areas for sure.
And you don't think that's the case here?
I don't think you can say both are stiffs. I don't believe that. I don't think either of them are stiff. I think both of them are good. I don't think either of them are elite. I don't think Nick Sirianni is an elite head coach. I don't think Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. I think both of them are good to very good. I think Howie is elite. I think the organization does things very well.
I think the owner is too.
I think the combination of them coming together, and when they have a good year and things go their way, they're right in the mix. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's one or the other. I don't think it's black and white. I don't think there's no context involved. I mean, you're trying to box me in.
No, I'm just trying to figure out.
When I got called to the principal's office, don't box me in. All right.
I don't. You know what I do? I bring things up here. That's all I do. I'm an observationist, young man. I just sit here and I just look at what you guys are doing with all these young coaches and trying to figure out if the quarterback is going to be and the coach is going to be on the hot seat or not.
How many more years do you think Jalen Hurts will be a starting quarterback in the NFL, not in Philadelphia?
I think he's got 2 more years here.
That's not what I asked you. In the NFL, I said.
Oh, it'll be Jacoby Brissett in 3 years.
Oh, man, this guy knows how to.
Wait a second.
You know how to throw the soup, man.
Wait a second. I want to show you something here. You make it sound like Jacoby Brissett blows.
No, but it's just a funny response.
Here, Jacoby Brissett had 3,366 yards and 23 touchdowns and 8 picks. This guy outplayed your boy.
Jacoby Brissett can't hold a candle to Jalen Hurts.
He outplayed him this year.
Oh, yeah, he did, right.
How many games did he do it in? Let me see here. Brissett did it in 13 games. He threw for 3,300 yards. Come on, man. That's my boy.
Jacoby Brissett is better than Jalen Hurts.
I can't wait to see this O-line, too.
So you think Jacoby Brissett's a better quarterback than Jalen?
From the pocket, I do.
Where's he logged on the all-time list?
He's right next to Ryan Tannehill.
718.
I think Brissett's a decent player, man.
No, he's decent. I don't hate him. I don't want to hate him.
I actually think he's pretty smart.
I don't want to hate on Brissett. I don't mind him.
What about Kyler Murray?
Steph.
Would you bring him back if you're Arizona? I would. What's your choice? Okay,
Brissett.
what are you going to do? Brissett's going somewhere else. He ain't staying there.
If I'm starting my football team and my season with Kyler Murray, my football season ends on the same day I choose to start that guy.
All right. Well, then what? Okay, your choice is to keep Brissett then. The new coach coming in is going to keep Jacoby Brissett.
Why don't you make a trade? Why don't you trade for Tanner McKee? Give me a second-round pick.
You think Tanner McKee's better than Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I do, frankly. No, I don't think he's better. I don't think he's a better player, but I think he'd have more success in Arizona.
I think you're going to sleep on my boy here a little bit.
Oh, Kyler Murray?
Last time he played you guys, he beat you. Let's see here.
Yeah, maybe I am. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
I'm not either.
Yeah. You're right, though. He's a very talented. I mean, wasn't he the number 1 overall pick in the draft?
Yeah, he was. By the way, he's the only guy with this distinction on being drafted in the first round in baseball and being drafted in the first round in football. So check this out. You tell me what you think of this.
You know, A.J. Brown was an MLB draft pick.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How about this one, Xander? So in his first season with the Cardinals, he threw for 3,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. His second year, he threw for 4,000 yards and 26 touchdowns and 12 picks. In his third year, he threw for 3,800 and 25 touchdowns. In his fourth year, he got hurt, missed a couple games. He still threw for 2,400 yards and 14 touchdowns.
One of these days, I'm gonna get the Basileo's brain, he's got like two wires. Like, I got one of these days, I'm gonna get him to connect, and we'll have harmony in the land. Like,
hey, wait, I'm trying to figure out here what's wrong with the guy here. He had 3,800 passing yards.
So now you're a Kyler Murray fan.
I know. I'm not anybody's fan. I'm just sitting here saying, you know what? This guy's thrown from 26 touchdowns, 24 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns, 22 touchdowns. He's thrown for 39.71, 37.81. He's thrown for 38.22, 38.51. How's this guy? He's got 20,000 passing yards. By the way, he's 7 years in the league. What year did Jalen get drafted in 20?
Yeah.
He got drafted in 20. So this guy got drafted in 19, and this guy's got 20,000. This guy's got 21,000 passing yards right now. How many yards has he got rushing? Let's see here. Rushing yards.
Guy calling.
He's got 3,100. He's got 31, almost 3,200 rushing yards and 32 rushing touchdowns. And he's got 20,000 passing yards, and he's got 121 passing TDs. That's not terrible, guy.
No, it's not. Definitely not terrible metrics or stats, no.
32 rushing TDs and 120 passing touchdowns. This guy's got 152. He's got 152 total touchdowns and 24,000 yards total in 7 years of play with a 67 completion percentage. I don't know. You're telling me you're going to move on from that?
I'm with Bob Brown. Sills, Murray is a 5'9" quarterback who plays sandlot football and does not study his playbook. That's exactly what I say.
Would you rather have him or CJ Stroud?
Yeah, we call that the battle of the stiff off.
I'd rather have, hey, if I'm Houston Texans, I'd rather have Kyler Murray in there than CJ Stroud. At least the guy can run. Right?
I don't know, dude. I am not a Kyler Murray fan. I do not think I am winning a Super Bowl with Kyler Murray.
You see that number where there was a poll that Hurts is the most hated player in the history of the national. No, he's the most hated player in today's NFL.
Was it that the most hated? I thought it was like one of them.
No, the most hated player. I don't think so. I don't hate him. I don't hate him like that.
Oh yeah, you don't hate him.
I don't hate him. It's not personal. And it's strictly business. It's just business. No, I don't hate the guy. Why do you think that is, man?
I like him. I fucking like Jalen. I just sometimes his offense aggravates me. But
who do you like more, Nick or him?
Nick or Jalen? Good question. I think both of them are good. I don't think either of them are elite or worthy of like I can't live without them. I think they're both good. If I had to pick one, it depends the situation I'm in. Like, am I restarting a new team or do I already have my players picked?
Starting a new team.
Probably go Nick. Better offensive foundation. I mean, he came from Phillip, got experience with that. He's now coached up a dual threat quarterback to success. I think Nick is more versatile offensively, and he's proven that he can manage the ship.
You think Nick has evolved into the CEO role?
I think he still struggles with some things. I do. I still think he's got to be better at some of the of the management of the team, some of the sideline stuff, some of the I mean, when you're the CEO head coach, you can't be overly emotional. That's what your position guys are for. That's what your other coaches are for. So I wish he would be a little bit less emotionally reactive, and logically think through things on the sideline, but hey, I think Nick is fine, dude. I don't think Nick is a bad coach. I really don't, man.
Do you think
not buy that?
Would you take Nick over John Gruden?
Well, for what?
Head coach.
No, not me personally, but it depends. Like, Gruden's a very different style of head coach.
He's emotional too,
He is, but he's an offensive guru type of guy. He's like an emotional, Shanahan or something like that. He's a very different style of coach. So, like an emotional Andy kind of, or something like that.
I like that.
Nick is more like an emotional Tomlin or like an emotional Harbaugh.
Okay, I want to make the reason this is going to go to your favor here, but I want to make a point to you here. So when he got the Tampa Bay job, they went 12-4, right? Okay, they win the Super Bowl in the very first year. Let me do this to you. I want to show you this. 57. This, you take that 12-4 season out. Okay, you got 5. He's 45-51 in Tampa. And get this, if you take that one Super Bowl season with Tony Dungy's players and you take that 12-4 season out, John Gruden's under 500 as a head football coach.
Well, then maybe you're right. I mean, but look, coaches are.
I think Nick's actually rolling into that role a lot better than I thought he was going to be. It's not perfect, like you said.
Well, if you listen to the National Football Show, you don't think that.
No. You know what? I've never been asked.
I'm not sure if you're a listener of that program.
No, because I've never been asked that. But I think he's actually done better than I thought he was going to do. I do.
Yeah, but you thought he was going to be a pile of steaming shit. So you saying that?
I don't think it's steaming anymore.
Yeah, sometimes your dog's got diarrhea and it's hard to clean up, and other times it's an easy clean. Yeah.
But well,
he went from diarrhea to easy clean.
Yeah, but the owner thinks that too because he almost fired him twice in 3 years.
The owner's very emotionally reactive.
That leads me to this one here. By the way, don't forget Howard Eskin joins us at the bottom here. What do you think the owner reveres more, and who do you think he can win?
Jalen, not even close. Not even in the same stratosphere.
John says that the relationship with Jalen and the owner is not once what it was, though.
Well, he speculated that maybe he doesn't think the owner is as
committed.
Yeah, that's what John speculated. I don't think he said it like he knew it. He said it like he would think that based on Jeffrey Lurie and everything Jeffrey's ever wanted in the past, which is really a high-powered passing attack, without the great level of success, which, I mean, they still were very successful. He doesn't probably not as in love with Hurts. I don't agree. I think the owner is a big Jalen Hurts guy.
If the owner had to pick a guy to move forward with, build his football team to continue to build success,
I think Jalen
for the future. You don't think it's Nick?
I think it'd be Jalen.
I think Jalen's limited. I think Nick's showing a little bit more.
You didn't ask me what you think. You asked me what I think the owner thinks.
All right. Well, if you thought you're only going to go so far with the offense that he had, you're changing all that around right now.
Who would you choose?
Well, because I like to have kiss asses, I'm going to have the ultimate kiss ass. I'm going to go with Nick. Got to have a kiss ass to do all my jobs. So I'm going to go with a guy. And it's really not a rip. I'm just making it a rip. But at the end of the day, Nick do you think Nick Sirianni and you think the owner has worked better with Nick or with Doug Peterson?
With Nick. I mean, Nick is a lackey.
Well, do you think if Doug had bent a little bit, Doug would have the same resume as Nick?
Yeah, but that's not inherently who Doug is as a person and as a man. Doug has more integrity.
I don't believe that's really who Nick Sirianni is either. I think
that's my least favorite thing about Nick. The thing I do not like the most. I don't want you to be fake.
You want to work or you don't want to work?
I don't like fake people. I don't give a shit if you upset me. I don't give a shit if I hate you. If you're real, I respect it more than if you're fake to placate to anybody. Believe me, that philosophy has gotten me in a lot more trouble in my life than I need to have.
Boy, do you not know that, boy? I'll tell you that when I was younger.
I prefer integrity. I mean, that's probably the number one thing about Nick that bothers me is that one day I don't know if you're real to yourself or if you're not. You do whatever. Like, I don't think he wants to change the offense, but he's doing it because he feels like he's got to. Doug said, I'm not changing my offense. Doug got fired.
But that makes Nick a better coach, though.
It makes Nick, not necessarily, it makes him more politically savvy. If the offense works, then it makes Nick a better coach. But if it doesn't
work, said to me about with Jalen, though. He goes, knowing Jalen's limitations, I'm going to make the quarterback who he is, and I'm going to go by not what I've been taught.
Nick, well, that's not what you said. You said Nick changing makes him a better coach. I think it just makes him more political.
Well, he's learned that. He's rolled into that role, right?
Well, it's not easy with the owner when you hear reports from Jeff McClin that you almost got fired in week 4.
Man. Like
remember, I think sometimes people think these guys are video games. Like Nick Sirianni is a man with a family and kids and a wife and a house and they're in school and all these different things. I mean, you can think he's a goofy, and I can call him a goofy for not being true to himself, but he might say, I don't give a fuck what Xander Krause says. I care about my kids at home. I care about my family. If I have to change my offense so I can keep my damn job, I'm doing it. And I would respect that, but I don't think he'd say that to me.
Well, here's what I would say to that. I don't give a fuck about your kids, and I don't give a fuck about your family. This is the NFL. You're going to do things my way here, or guess what? This is why we pay you that money and why you have a contract, kid. And if you want to go sit on the beach with $16 million for the next 2 years, I don't give a shit about that. You and your family could go sit on a new yacht somewhere, okay? The NFL doesn't work like that. Hey, Xander, they don't give a shit about anything other than money.
That might highlight the dumbest decision Nick has made. It's like, hey, why didn't you just take the $16 million to sit on the beach and not have to deal with these knuckleheads? They'd have fired you and you'd be chilling.
Bro, at the end of the day, that's what Stoutland's doing. Stoutland's going to go like this for a year. You know what I would do, too, if I was Jeff Stoutland? The next head football coach he'll be in here next year. It'll be a new guy. So the new guy, I would go like this. Hey, Jeff, you want a job? And I would hire Jeff Stoutland back.
I don't think the Eagles organization would like that very much.
You don't think they'd want Jeff Stoutland back if this thing turns into a train wreck and you draft a guy in 1 and he turns out to be Andre Dillard? Then again, Jeff Stoutland couldn't do shit with Andre Dillard either.
Well, that's because Jeff Stoutland, he's great. He's not magic. But anybody who's worth a shit, Jeff got to play. You never saw an offensive lineman that was, projected good things here, not do it, and then go somewhere else and do it. Ever. I've never seen one.
Okay. Have you you were talking to your draft guy this morning. By the way, Howard Eskin's going to join us here in a couple minutes. You tell me, was there one guy that your draft guy said today that sparked your interest?
Chris Bell is somebody I've liked, and he was really high on him. The top guys were interesting. He had Ruben Bain. He likes Ruben Bain a lot. Obviously, he's a good player. The offensive tackles, he had your guy from Miami at number 1. He likes the Utah guys, and he really likes the Alabama kid, Caden Proctor, which I understand why. Caden Proctor's a traits guy. Like, he's huge, and he looks like, the thing with him is, dude, like, if we had Stoutland, I'd be like, that's the perfect project for Stoutland. Now I don't know. This is my biggest concern about the loss of Jeff. I don't know. Does anybody feel confident about Chris Cooper developing O lineman?
No. That's why you look at people like that kid Colton Hood, that Tennessee corner. Would you go corner there, or would you go free agency there? Now, do you want to draft Lane's replacement?
Yeah, I do. Lane's coming back, and they also I love how they made like a breaking news bit, like Landon Dickerson's coming back. I'm like, all right, yeah, we all knew that, but Landon will be back. Lane will be back.
Do you think it was iffy if he was coming back?
No, I think he just got to the end of the season and was like, I had one of those moments where you're like, fuck, man. Doesn't everybody get those every once in a while? What the fuck am I doing with my life? Doesn't everybody feel that every once in a while? I do. I know I certainly do.
Let me give you one here. So Randy White, one of the greatest legendary defensive tackles of all time, he comes walking into the Cowboys. This guy played 16 years. He comes walking into the Cowboys. This was the transition of Jimmy Johnson. This guy had 10 Pro Bowls, Xander. He was a Super Bowl MVP as a defensive tackle. He sits next to me in the locker, and I looked at him. I go, you coming back for year 16? He looked at me, and he goes, you see me limping? And it was the offseason, and he's limping. And he goes like this. He goes, it's a young guy's game. He goes, I need a couple more weeks. A couple more weeks went by. He went through Jimmy's mini camp. He went right up to Johnson right after and said this, I'm out.
And that ended
the Manster's career.
That might be what Zadarius Smith did this year.
Yeah. Well, not quite Randy White, but, you know, I mean, dude, the Manster Randy White was.
Yeah, he was a boss.
Dude, 10 Pro Bowls, man. 10 Pro Bowls. John doesn't think Jalen Phillips is going to get that 20, does he? Or does he?
No, he does. He thinks he's the number one move after AJ. Make sure AJ's here and get Phillips. That's what John said are the two crux moves the Eagles need this offseason. Pay Phillips and make sure AJ stays.
I don't know why you guys – well, no, I don't know. I shouldn't put words in your mouth. I do not believe AJ's back. I just don't believe it. He's made too much of a fucking bitch the last 3 years about the offense not getting his numbers. I'll tell you this. You got rid of Barkley, he'd stay.
Who, AJ?
Oh.
You think he hates Barkley?
Yeah, I do.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He hates the fact that the offense goes through Barkley.
They were hanging out at the
No. I don't. No, you get me wrong here. Not as people. Not as people. He hates the fact the offense goes through him. His numbers have been down since Barkley joined the team.
Yeah, way down.
No. I don't believe. No. It's not like this. I fucking hate her. No, it's not that. I think it's that he hates that they look at Barkley as the engine that runs the offense. Michael Irvin, he had to deal with the fact, well, that was Emmett. Emmett's a 19,000-yard guy. Barkley's not Emmitt Smith. Okay? He's not Emmett. And the offense should be running through him. Okay? It should be running through him, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what AJ thinks, but
man, I can't
again,
wait.
Again, Sileo wants to placate to AJ at every move.
I think AJ's gold.
He's content gold, that's for sure.
Content gold. He goes on that podcast and he gives me this. We're all Patriots here, ain't we?
Is that what he said?
No. Julian Edelman went like this on the podcast. So Gronk is sitting there, they're doing an interview, and Edelman sits back and goes, We're all Patriots here, aren't we? And AJ goes,
oh, God. Wait, I didn't see this. Is that what AJ did?
Yeah. Here. You got here. I got it on my I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm sure you got it on your X page. I'm sure you do. Sileo said I got it on my X page. Oh,
here it is. Yeah, here it is right here. Look at this.
Yeah, I got it.
Are you looking at it?
I'm about to look at it.
Yeah, look at it before we get Howard up. Look at this thing here, man.
On your damn X page. Oh wait, I got it.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. He is trolling. He's trolling. That's what AJ's doing.
He's a pro at it too, isn't he?
He is very good at it. Yeah, he is. Well, if they lose him, I think they're going to struggle even more. So we'll find out. But we'll see what they do, brother.
All right, big man. We'll catch you on Bird 365 in the morning. Thank you, bro.
See you, Sills. Thank you, brother.
You got it, man. Xander Krause. I'll tell you one thing I learned about everybody in Philadelphia, man. There is one dude that people still go to get his opinions, and that is Howard Eskin. You know, even when, you know, I think we had Angelo on. Did we have Angelo on Monday? I think we did. And boy, people are like, because Angelo, he just can't stand Nick. And Howard's like, that's my boy. All right. I can't get this young coaching staff, and I don't know what's going on in Philly, and the only guy that can answer all this stuff. And by the way, before I bring Howard up, I would like to get Howard's opinion on the Philadelphia media no longer doing their job. They used to have guys back in the day that covered the Phillies, like Bill Collin and all them guys from the Inquirer. He would go out there and cover the team and actually tell you what's going on. So let me get this right. Guys drinking a beer in the dugout, which again, okay, now they're all of a sudden piling on. But you knew that story for over a year, and you didn't let anybody know what was going on. Not anybody saying that Nick Castellanos is not an asshole. But that's not the point. The point is you didn't do your job. So nobody in Philly in the media does their job anymore and reports on it, and that these organizations now hold these guys by the short hairs. What in the F happened to Philadelphia sports media? because the media that Howard Eskin was involved with, those guys would have been blasted from Maine to South Florida. I don't know what's going on there. That's a shame that nobody's doing their job in Philly anymore covering sports. That's what Angelo said too. Nobody's doing their job. So let's go to a guy who did this and took all the heat when he was the afternoon guy and covered that team like a hawk. He is our friend Howard Eskin. Howard, maybe I'm going to start there. I mean, what happened to your media, dude? I mean, you used to have people that would go into your places and into your dugouts and cover teams. Now all of a sudden they're placating the team. What happened?
They became pussy cats.
That's what Angelo said.
First of all, they didn't have it during the season. That's the joke of this whole thing. So the Phillies kind of try to dirty up Nick Castellanos, and they give it to reporters the reporters think that they're going to get information because they're helping out the Phillies and they're kind of dirtying up Nick Castellanos. So by doing that, they think they're going to get information. And there's a few guys that do get information. So they just keep on, taking care of them. It's to report it now and not have reported it during the season that, they were disgruntled and there was problems. And first of all, there were no problems. The players weren't disgruntled. Those guys get along. And they just, nowadays players don't get into the other guy's business and they just get along. Nick Castellanos might have been he was a little quiet, maybe a little strange, but he was not, I repeat, he was not a problem. Did he make a mistake? Yeah, he acknowledged it because he got pissed that he wasn't a 9-inning player. Played all those years, and then the team decided that he wasn't a 9-inning player, and they took him out for defense. So that obviously pissed him off a little bit. His numbers were consistent. They were good, not great, good. I will make a bet with anybody, and I made a couple bets with Larry Bowe when I had him on, that he will have the same numbers as the guy that the Phillies, if not better, than the guy that the Phillies now have in right field. Now, the guy they have in right field now is a better defensive player, Garcia, better defensively. He's going to strike out more times. They're going to have similar home runs. They're going to have similar hits. They're going to have similar RBIs. If Castellanos may even be better. But the Phillies were embarrassed that they mishandled the situation by saying at the end of last season that he wasn't going to be back. So why would any team trade for him? The teams know that, well, you're going to have to release him. You're going to release him because you already said he's not going to be back.
They devalued him.
Right. Well, that's exactly what they did. And they were probably a little embarrassed. They had to be because they got zero for him. They got $780,000 off of $20 million and got not even a fifth-rate minor league player. Nobody gave you anything for him because they knew you were going to have to release him. So now the reporters just helped the Phillies out, kissed their ass, made it nice, and dirtied them up. And all of a sudden this comes out now, and you didn't know any of that during the season because it didn't exist. It didn't exist. I've talked to a couple of people. It didn't exist. Again, different, maybe a little strange, quiet, but he worked as hard as anybody on that team. He did. I'm going to defend him. I have nothing with Castellanos. I mean, I've talked to him a few times at most. Respectful, but nothing. Doesn't really say a lot, but nothing to gain by what I'm saying. But he was not a bad guy.
Howard, this is an indictment on the media in Philly more than anything with the player. I agree. And by the way, I think in between Tatis and Machado, I think he's going to put up the same career numbers that he always puts up. I don't think he's going to do anything less.
20-some home runs.
I think that's a pretty good lineup the Padres have.
Yeah, 80-some to maybe 90 RBIs.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he does, and his average will be the same as the guy that the Phillies have. But defensively, he's just not that player. But it's just to get nothing for him is just ridiculous. But they dirtied him up. The media dirtied him up because the Phillies wanted them to dirty him up.
Man, that's crazy stuff there anyway. All right. So Howard, let me go over to the Eagles here. This weekend you have you have like the combines. Again, I don't really give a crap about guys in shorts. I care more about the meetings with the agents and with the general managers that goes on there for the entire week. That is really the storyline. And I'll ask you, do you believe that A.J. Brown, there's a lot of reports right now, people are working on contracts. And how about this one? I don't believe people do things just for coincidence. Kansas City just relieved $43.4 million on their cap so that they can make a move to try to make some type of acquiring of a player, because they need players on that. They need players. They need a player.
That's what happens when you're good for years. You go to Super Bowls. You can't keep everybody. You got to step back before you step forward again.
Do you think they move AJ?
I think it's going to be very difficult. And all these social media reports, I laugh at social media. It's not social. It's not media. It's bullshit. All right. That's what it is. It's filling space and content. Like today, as we speak, what's today? Thursday. Lane Johnson's coming back. He was coming back all along. He's working out. He's been posted videos of him working out hard. Think he's working out to go to the grocery store? I mean, come on, give me a break. He's working out because he wants to come back. You don't want to leave the way he left last season. So he doesn't need any more money, but hey, listen, a lot of players feel you can never have enough. I mentioned that there's questions about Landon Dickerson. I was told that he talked to somebody that I know very well, and Landon says, I'm coming back. Now, he may be hurt during the season, but Landon Dickerson will be back. But all of a sudden, somebody puts it on social media, and somebody else picks it up, and it's like, I mentioned that Lane Johnson was coming back, but it's just like all of a sudden now it's big news. Big news. He was coming back. What was he, like I said, what was he working out for?
Yeah, but what does he come back as? I mean, he's going to be 36 years old.
Yeah, he's not the same player.
Okay, so.
Not the same player. But he's still.
Yes.
Right now, he's better than anybody else that they have.
Absolutely.
There.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's better than anybody else that they have. And if you get 10 to 12 games out of him, that's a better 10 to 12 games than you're going to get out of anybody else. I said this, and I look at this, and I said, when I had John Harbaugh, and I said it to him, I says, I think you're going to win the division either this year or next year with the Giants. Now, to do that, that means the Eagles are not going to win the division. I don't think that would be 3 years in a row. That's very difficult to win that division, the NFC East.
No way.
I don't think the Eagles are going to finish in first place in the NFC East because they're just not as good. You can try to pick up some players, and if you trade AJ, do you get anybody that's as good as him as a wide receiver to replace him? Now you can start over again and tell people this guy is going to be really good and we'll be good with, you'll draft a wide receiver. There's so many good players, with speed and that are out there.
Yeah, but Howard, here's what my problem with that take would have been is this. So if you move off of AJ, you drafted Devontae Smith at number 10.
Correct.
The following year, you made a trade for another wideout because what? You thought you didn't think that Devontae would ever be a number one?
Who was the wideout? Was that Dotson? That wasn't Dotson, was it?
No. I know that he was taken 10th, and then you guys traded. Remember, you traded one of your number one picks. You had two that year, and you used one of them and traded it to Tennessee to bring AJ in, and that was
that was the trade. Okay,
and
right.
you traded to bring AJ in. So, do you not think that Devontae Smith could be a number one wide receiver?
No, I think two's better than one in that offense. You have two really good wide receivers. They were trying to help the quarterback. And they did when he threw and because AJ will run. They'll both run post, but they'll run. His best passes are down the sidelines.
Yes,
because they're not going to be intercepted.
that's right.
So those are two players that are successful with those routes. Devontae with his speed, AJ with his speed and his size. So it just makes it better for the quarterback because at that time, I mean, they still had a good running game because Swift did a good job with the Eagles, and I think he
So
might have
did
been the running.
Sanders.
Yeah, and Sanders and Swift, but they probably didn't know that they would have had Saquon Barkley. So the reality is they just got more offensive players. Offense, you can talk about defense winning games. Defense won a game in the Super Bowl because Drake May just choked. I mean, let's face it. He's a young guy, wasn't ready for that stage, and I think he's going to be a good quarterback. But he just choked. He just choked in that playoff. And
Howard,
then the pass rush was unbelievable.
it was a great defense, and no doubt that John Schneider, their GM, has done a hell of a job at building that.
Is he better than Howie Roseman?
He's got 3 NFC titles, he's got 3 NFC titles and 2 Super Bowls too. And he came out of the Pete Carroll era. I think they're kind of compatible with one another.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you don't hear about him because he's in Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. I think
he's good. Whether he's better or as good, he's very good. He's very good.
And they get their drafts right.
Yep, that's exactly right.
They do a good job in drafting here. So, all right. Well, let me ask you this question because you are a gigantic Nick Sirianni homer. So I will ask you this question here.
I think he's a good coach, and the criticism of him was uncalled for, disgraceful, over the top. The year he won the Super Bowl, after 4 games, he was going and they were ready to get Belichick, who's without Tom Brady is just a stiff. And, they always watch him. I'm sure he's still, I bet you he's cheating at North Carolina. I'm just guessing, allegedly. I wouldn't be surprised because they're not going to check like the NFL checks.
True pro on the air right there. Always dropping the allegedly in there. All right. Well, let me ask the question.
Well, yeah, allegedly.
Okay, let me drop this little nugget in here then. Do you think Nick Sirianni has made it undesirable to coach in Philadelphia if you're an assistant coach? I can't think all these stiffs they hired and all these guys that are nobodies were the number one choices that they wanted. Chris Cooper, he was blown out in Minnesota.
I know, they were not. And Mannion was like the 6th, at least no better than the 6th choice. But I don't think it's because of the coach.
Okay.
I think you come and take a job to get your next job when you're not the head coach. When you're an assistant, you're the guys that aren't coordinators. When they come as a coordinator, they hope they're going to get a head coaching job. When you come below that person, you hope you're going to get a coordinator's job. And that happens when you have success. Now with this team, and I mentioned this, and this is where I think they're going to struggle a little bit. The offensive line we know is not as good. You have Lane Johnson coming back. That's great. Landon Dickerson, I'm told that he's coming back. That's great, but they're not the same players. Will Cam Jurgens come back the way he was 2 years ago? I don't know. He's banged up and he's hurt. Is their offensive line as good as it was when they won the Super Bowl? The answer to that question is no. All right, I'll answer the question. And I don't think anybody would disagree. So now with the offensive line not as good, that means your running game's not as good. Saquon Barkley's still a good back, but he's got some years, and I think he's still good, but running backs don't last forever, and they have a shorter shelf life than most players on the offense. So they have a shorter shelf life. So will he be as good? Be good, not as good. Now, with those two things not as good, now the quarterback might have to throw more than the desired 21 to 23 passes. And if he does that, he's already got to build an excuse. No, I've had 7 offensive coordinators in 8 years, counting college. And, it's a new system. And, it's not easy. He's already got to build an excuse. You know, and so you
Tanner,
hear it every year.
Flag that, please.
Well, yeah, but you can't use an excuse every year.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. You just got to go out there and play the game. Do you think other teams with success don't have assistant coaches that leave? They all leave because they're all looking to get better jobs.
Sean McVay gets guys poached off that roster all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so it happens. And you just got to just go out there and just be better. Now, it's a new system. Is Jalen Hurts going to be able to adapt to the new system? So and when a coach comes here, if they don't have success, then the coach looks bad because the moron fans blame the coach. It's always the coach. It's never the player. And then the media climbs on to that narrative because they want the players to talk to them. Hey, listen, if they don't talk to you, they don't talk to you. It's not the end of the world. You know, you're not going to, what are you going to have a sleepless night because a player won't talk to you because you didn't kiss his ass or you criticized him? Come on now, stop. You can't worry about that. I'll tell you, it was hard for me early in my career to criticize a player, not because I wasn't worried that he wouldn't talk to me. The next time I went in the locker room, was I going to get crap from that guy? And I was in the locker room the next day. If they wanted to say something, they said something.
You know what, Howard? I always felt this way, having been on both sides of the mic, that I think they respect people who are not full of shit more than people that are full of shit. And sometimes people that aren't, they're more abrasive. And you know what it is? Players are too. And so, like, you know, here, just so you know, if a player doesn't like a coach who's full of shit and he wants a straight shooter, players want straight shooters. And you may not like what you want to hear, but I've always felt the guys that I know and the guys that I've always been around, hey, sometimes the guy says something. Look at LeBron and Stephen A. Smith. They go back and forth on stuff all the time. But you know what? Again, Stephen A. Smith is not saying anything. You know, LeBron's padding his stats now. He's the ultimate stat patter now. He's never going to win the argument on Michael Jordan and him. That ship has sailed. Everyone knows it. And like all you're doing right now is you're hanging around. You'll never change the narrative, man. And so Stephen A. Smith is right. The guys, I mean, longevity-wise, he's great. But to put him ahead of Kobe even, bro, you're not even ahead of Kobe. Let alone ahead of Michael Jordan.
He's no higher than 6 or 7 all time, and that's high. I still put Bird ahead of him.
Yeah, totally. Bird's better.
Yeah, I put Bird ahead of him. But, you know, but he's not in the top 5. He's not even close to the top 5. But the reality is, you know, Stephen A. Smith, he just talks out his rear end. And then it's easy to rip LaFraud because he's so insecure. He's so insecure, and he's always looking for attention. It's just like the 23. Does he still have the 23 on his jersey?
Yeah,
because he played 23 years. Well, that 23 is really a Michael Jordan number.
It's a rip at Jordan. It is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, get out of here. And for the NBA to allow that, for an individual to put a number on his uniform, Adam Silver ought to resign to allow that. You can't let the players already run the league, and now you're letting this guy run. What's to say that the next guy who has a great career decide, wait a minute, you let LaFraud do that, so why can't I do that? I mean, it's total
NBA's
nonsense.
unwatchable right now. Here, let me
Terrible.
ask you this. I got a nugget for you. Ready? On March 15th, Howie Roseman's contract is up. Obviously, they love the guy, but
Jeffrey Lurie does, yes.
Okay, so my question would be, when does it get to a point when Howie does this? Let me go out and be a free agent, and let me see what team would want me to come and help them like a Theo Epstein did when Theo Epstein won a world title with the Red Sox and won a world title with the Cubs. Why doesn't Howie go out there on the open market? Wouldn't you think that he would become the highest paid general manager in all of professional sports?
No.
No.
You know who the highest? When you said all professional sports,
Yeah.
you know that other. Well, Howie's not a fraud. Howie's done a good job. The fraud with the Sixers, Daryl Morey. He's getting close to $15 million a year. Is Howie going to get 15 million? So no. Here Howie's quietly. I'm not going to say who it was. I thought somebody might purchase a team, and Howie was trying to, at one point, kind of a little softly get into that situation, but the guy never got a team. So will Howie leave? No, not unless he gets a piece.
You think he retires an Eagle?
As long as Jeffrey Lurie's here, yes.
How about if the kid takes over? Because the
kid is kind of running a lot.
The kid's more involved now. You know, you see Julian being involved in.
He's involved, but
coaching hiring.
Yeah, but he's young. He's a smart guy, obviously. But Jeffrey still calls the shots when there's a decision like that to be made. He kept Howie when he wasn't in favor with a lot of things. So Howie will get he's already getting, a nice paycheck, and he'll get more money. He will get more money. And
Howard, do you know if he's the highest paid GM in the NFL? Because the GMs don't.
No, you don't see that.
They don't put that money out there. They don't put that out there publicly and how much the GMs make.
I don't know what the top GM is making right now.
I think that guy down in Houston is making $6.5 million, Nick Caserio, because they got him from New England. Remember, he had 4 Super Bowl rings.
Howie can get $6 million. I think he's making $4 million now.
Yeah, something like that I heard.
Yeah. So he could get that. And why would he leave? He's got a lifetime job with the Eagles.
Well, say a guy like Woody Johnson, who's struggling mightily there in New York, and Woody Johnson comes up and says, "I'll tell you what, I'll make you the highest paid general manager in all of pro sports. I'll pay you north of $15-16 million.
That ain't happening.
We'll make you the highest paid guy that there is, and we'll give you complete autonomy on being able to run this organization."
Yeah, but then
he's always coveted that job,
Well, yeah, but then you're not going to get a coach. You may not be able to get a coach because the coach wants to have input in those things. So are you going to get a good enough coach? John Harbaugh, and I don't know this, I'm just assuming that he has tremendous decision-making in personnel.
That was part, from what I understand with my friends in the Giants, the number one thing was for when Harbaugh got that job is that John Mara, who's ill and who's ill with cancer right now, number one thing was that John Harbaugh wanted autonomy over Joe Schoen, the general manager of the New York Giants, and that he has say over personnel and free agent decisions. John has that. Now, remember, he didn't have that when he was in Baltimore because that was Eric DeCosta and Ozzie Newsome.
And he had the hammer to do that.
Yes.
But if you allow a general manager to come in to be that person, then a coach is going to say, I can't make any decisions. So you're going to get, with the Jets, if using the Jets as your example, would they ever get a great coach? They still need a quarterback, man. And it's just so.
Supposedly they're flirting around with Kyler Murray.
Who's not good enough.
Probably not.
No, he's not good enough. It's just not good enough. And it's, it's hard to find that guy, but you need
Howard. I don't think
somebody to give him.
I don't think it's hard to find. I just watched Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. I think it's hard to do what Howie did is build a roster.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold was the third or fourth or fifth pick in the draft, right?
Yeah, he was, but that was his fifth team.
Okay, but sometimes you don't make it. There's players that has happened with. I mean, Daniel Jones is a better quarterback now. Too bad he got hurt than he was with the Giants. So it depends on who the coach is. I guess the system that where the coach adapts to the player. That's what the Eagles do with Jalen Hurts, and that's worked for a while. I don't know if it's going to continue to work, but no, I think Howie's locked in here.
Let me give you a couple more here.
Unless he gets a team like Seattle's going to be sold. obviously they're up for sale. I mean, that's not a secret. If the new owner decides to give Howie, well, but you don't need a general manager. But if a team like
but
that,
I see what you're saying. If they give the guy 2%,
a piece of the
a
team,
piece of the like a
2% is a lot of money. Yeah,
it is. Oh my God. Well, look at what the owners sold. Jeffrey Lurie just sold what, 6% of the team, and he just got what, like $8 billion for it or something like that.
Who did?
Jeffrey Lurie sold like a percentage of the team. He got an equity owner to come in. It's a minority share he sold.
Yeah, right. Jeffrey Lurie did, but I think it's under $1 billion. I think it's a little under $1 billion.
Okay, it was like 900 million something. I know it was.
Yeah, but it's a guy that's got no say, so it doesn't matter. It's just found money. But the reality is,
but to your point about having a percentage, if I get a percentage of the team and I'm the owner,
and who wants to do that?
Coming in every year of my life,
and that's not. I don't see that happening right now. But I think the only way Howie Roseman would leave. He's got created his family knows people in Philadelphia. He's made a home for himself. And sometimes you have to move, but his kids are still young. I don't know if you want to move the kids now, but we're getting way, way down the road. I don't think he's leaving. I don't think there's any way he's leaving because Jeffrey Lurie will take care of him.
How many more years do you think Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback in Philly? Wait a second, folks. I think we got technical issues going.
Yeah. Oh, did you not hear me? Here, let me give you that number again.
Oh my God. Oh my God, man. Boy, did Philly miss your ass on the radio, man.
Oh, yeah. Well,
outside of your
radio
kid,
in Philadelphia
outside of your
kind of
kid,
mediocre.
That station's a stiff.
What's that?
Outside of your kid, that station's a stiff.
Yeah, it's become a boring radio station. And more you see that people realize that radio is not the future, it's the past.
It is.
And it's just, what they need in advertising dollars. The numbers don't support it. And now stations are trying to put half of their show on not social media, that the streaming. The YouTubes, and I guess that's what you call it, streaming. So on YouTube, but that takes away from the ratings. So when they go out to the advertisers to sell, well, wait a minute, you didn't. Well, I want 15% more. Well, did you give me 15% more audience? No. Yeah. Well, our costs go up. Well, so do my costs go up. So there's no argument anymore. Just because they're the Eagles and Philly station doesn't work anymore. That narrative doesn't work. It's just too much money for what they deliver, and it's the same bullshit all day.
Howard, what's wrong? What's wrong with WIP and sports talk radio in Philly now? In your opinion? By the way, a guy by the name of John Mamola watches our show, and he works for Barrett.
Barrett. Yeah, Barrett.
He works for Barrett. He was a program director of mine when I was down in Tampa.
Oh, really? Yeah. I see his stuff. I read Barrett every day.
And the last time that you were on talking about media, he posted it. What do you think is wrong? What do you think is wrong with sports talk in Philly right now?
Well, I think it's sports talk in a lot of places, but you asked me about Philadelphia. There's some good people there, but it's a lack of talent. And it's become here's the model. Two people. I remember when I worked 25 years by myself, and that, not that it couldn't work. It's not desirable anymore. Yeah, well, it did work for me. On AM, I was number one in the market for close to all 25 years.
Right? 610, right?
Yeah, it was 610. And then I actually did the first show on the FM too. And then that's when I was done after 25 years. So it's just not enough talent. There's not enough talent. And they've created two people, and I don't know what consultant's idea it was.
That was
Good.
Chernoff's idea. That was Mark Chernoff's idea to put
At
people
FAN.
together. You know why? Because they did it with Mike and the Mad Dog. Mike Chernoff told me he ran CBS, if you remember right. He was like the head of CBS and all
I
that.
remember. I know Mark Chernoff.
Yeah, Mark
Yeah.
tried telling me he wanted to put me with somebody, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to run the Titanic into
Mark's a sharp guy. Mark's a sharp guy. I get it. I thought he was a sharp guy.
well, he's a sharp guy, but he and I just.
Well, you didn't see eye to eye.
You know why I didn't see eye to eye? Because he wanted to put a stiff with me, and I said I'm not doing a show.
Yeah.
And you know where they wanted to put me? They wanted to put me on, and you know the program director that's now all of a sudden like some sort of creep that was at WIP. He's a creep now. Something like really ugly happened with
Tom Bigby. You're talking about?
No, the guy after him.
Oh.
A program director.
Oh, Andy Bloom. Andy Bloom.
Yeah, so Andy Bloom was going to hire me to do a show right after Angelo, and I had auditioned and everything. I got emails still that I was going to be brought in, and then all of a sudden I had to talk with Mark Chernoff, and Chernoff and I had gone back and forth, and he goes, "I'm going to put someone in with you," and I go, "Listen, if I'm going to hit the iceberg, I'm going to hit the iceberg. I'm not going to have him hit the iceberg for me. Let me go down." No,
Okay,
we believe in pairs and we believe in teams. I go, why? Because you put Boomer and Carton together, and you put Afternoon with Dog and with Mike. I go,
well, I mean,
I never thought that way.
Well, wait a minute. Boomer and Carton were two talented people.
No,
okay, Russo and Francesa were two talented people.
Yes.
So you had talented people together. Now, I think the premise of what they tried to do is good cop, bad cop. So you have a debate before you even get to the listeners and the people and your audience. So you have a debate because you want to debate because that's what it's all about. It's just, banging heads. And now but everybody knows that they don't believe, most of the times they don't believe what they say anyway, because it's just, well, I mean, they talk about before the shows, they have these meetings. Well, I'll take this side, and why don't you take this side? Well, I don't really believe in that side, but that's all right. It'll work for the show. So you take a side that you don't believe, and that's what they do. That's why it doesn't work anymore, because it's good cop, bad cop, and to be adversarial with whoever you work with is supposedly the way it's going to work better. And that's the problem. But there's not enough talent anymore, because you don't really have to. In sports talk radio, they're not looking for guys with talent anymore. They're looking for guys that are inexpensive, that'll just run garbage out of their mouth, and it's so phony and so fake. The one thing that I always believed in, and maybe because I was there I didn't do I did sports talk in the 70s.
Yeah.
So on an FM station. So I did it, and I learned that, hey, listen, just be yourself. You don't have to be nice to everybody. Just be yourself. And it worked out. It actually got me a television job, because they liked the fact that I had opinions based on real information, not this garbage that they just throw out there now. So I knew that was important, but that doesn't exist anymore. I think you can inform, which now is boring to sports talk radio, but you can I always believed I could entertain while I informed, because I had strong opinions based on fact. And that's why all these players respect me. And that's why I think I've been lucky enough, knock on wood, lucky enough to be able to get great guests on my show, because I got to know people and they saw me around all the time. They trusted me. They believed me. If they told me something off the record, it was off the record, but it gave me some background. So I knew all that. These guys, you'd have to give them directions to get to the ballpark or the arena. I mean, they need a map. It's crazy. And the only time they ever talk to them is if these players are paid to be a guest on their show during football season. They pay a lot of the players. I think they pay most of the players.
Yeah.
But it's just, but that's not the way it should work. You should be honest. It may piss people off, but to go back and beginning of this and answer your question, Why is it not good enough anymore? Because there's not enough talent, because they don't know the right way to do it. There's some people that do. My son's pretty smart, but he plays this little game too. Just throw crap out there, and if it sticks, and just piss people off. But whatever the case may be, that's just what it is. Again, there's some talented people there, but there's not enough to sustain all the sports talk they do. And now they hire a lot of part-time people because it costs them less. The company is in debt they were $2 billion in debt. Now they're when it was sold, 51%. Now they're only $300 million in debt.
Biggest mistake that company ever made, Howard, was when you guys and I came over from Entercom, and they ended up letting CBS buy them. It destroyed the entire stock. It destroyed the entire fabric of what like Entercom and what you guys were doing. You guys were so good, man. I mean, and then again, the two really, if you think about it, sports talk radio, you had WFAN, you had the station up in Boston, the Sports Hub, and you guys. If you look around the landscape of sports talk radio, maybe DAE, the station we had 14 shares when I was on down there. Other than that, finding like 14, 10 shares, having passionate sports fans. I mean, there are very few stations in the history of sports talk. WIP was the first. FAN was the second. WEEI, I worked there also, as well. The Sports Hub, as I said, maybe a station to score in Chicago. Outside of that, though, Howard, there's really not a lot of places that had a lot of talent.
No,
they were a lot of sports talk was not really all that great. And when they consolidated, that's when it all happened and went south. You guys never went 24. You guys were always 24/7.
Yeah.
You were local talent. You didn't bring national guys in.
No, because they didn't connect with Philadelphia. Philadelphia is very provincial.
They didn't know your fan base.
Yeah, a very provincial town. So it's just not the same, unfortunately for them, not for the world that we live in of streaming and podcasts and all those things.
Do you enjoy doing this now? Do you enjoy this?
Yeah, I have fun. When I do a show, I really have a lot of fun. It's a lot of work because I'm basically my own company. You have a company behind you, but it's my company. So I get the advertisers. I don't need a lot. And I don't want to clutter it up with a lot of advertisers. I want people that I know that they're good. I know that they support it. And that's the most important thing. And then the guests, that's me, because I just think when you ask somebody to be on your show, if you ask a producer, a lot of times it's easy for somebody to blow you off.
I never ask a producer to ever get. I do 3 shows now. I do a radio show in Tampa, and I do now for Sports Grid. I do a show on the weekends. It's a TV show, and I always contact these people myself because I have personal relationships with each and every single one of them. I would never have anybody ever contact you without me contacting you first, because I'm not having that. Because I'm not having anybody, as you would. I'm not having anybody ruin my relationships with people.
Well, that's why when I had, you think if a producer got into John Harbaugh after he was named the Giants head coach, that's just the most recent example, I would say. Even John Calipari, I had him on too. If I had a producer get in touch with those guys, I don't know. But I know John Harbaugh, I've got to be friendly with for 25 years now. And he's a great, great human being. Forget about being a terrific coach. He's a great human being. Can't say enough good things about him. Sincere, honest, not a bullshitter.
I know Jim
well. Yeah, I don't know Jim. I met their parents at the Super Bowl, but I don't know Jim really at all. But the reality is, when I asked him, 15 minutes later, I got a text back. Yeah, no problem. And he hadn't done anything for the New York media yet, just the news conference.
I bet that went well.
Oh, they had well over 100 requests. But I mean, I had a relationship with him, so I knew him. But if I had a producer, the point is, if I had a producer for him or John Calipari's a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh,
Arkansas
absolutely.
has a chance to go to the Final
A-
Four.
They're,
They're good.
I think they're good too. I think the Razorbacks, I think they have a great shot to get to the Elite
They
Eight.
almost beat who was they were on the road? Was it Alabama last night? Was it Alabama?
I think it was Alabama.
Yeah, they went to double overtime.
Yeah, they're good.
They're really good.
He's gotten
So
away from one and done a little bit, but he's
well, he knows the guys, but they're
nil
going to
now.
be there. But hey, listen, you're not coming here. You're going to get paid. But if you're coming here just for the money for the next to go to the next college, next university, don't bother coming here. I don't want you. I want you to be committed here. And if it's after a year and you're going to go to the NBA, you know, that's what he builds them for their future.
I want to
life.
ask you one last one here. Do you miss radio? And do you ever want to right the ship on what happened at the end on your tenure? Because to me, I think you should have had an opportunity. Angela's even said it too. And I know even Mike Missinelli and all them guys have said it. You should have had an opportunity to go out at least the way and give like kind of a way out the door.
I'm going to tell you right now, they're two-faced. There's a bunch of people in that company, and I've got names. And at some point, I'm just going to, hopefully it's before, I don't want to get ill. I shouldn't even say that. There'll be a time.
You're not sick, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not, thank goodness. But there'll be a time where I'm going to out the people that were stone cold phonies, two-faced, liars, allegedly. So, but I haven't mentioned any names, so it's just
No, you're
but
good.
liars. They did me wrong and they had no proof. Nothing. But and I'll say this. I had an attorney and the suit was going to be $5 million. And I would have probably gotten
A settlement.
a settlement of probably, maybe, $500,000. But I didn't want to go through 2 years of sitting in court and going through different things. But they would have had to testify. And well, what did you have on them? Well, we didn't really have anything. And I got people that I can identify.
You think these alleged people made shit up about it?
No, they didn't have, they kind of, I guess they filter things to different people and it gets out there. Did they make it? No, they had no evidence of anything. They had a couple of people complain, and one guy who backed somebody that complained was an absolute, he's a bad human being. So I've got all the people lined up who didn't do the right thing. And I was done wrong, but did I want to fight it? No. Hey, they were broke. Understand, Odyssey was broke. I was the first of 500 people in 2025 that were laid off. Did you hear that number? They laid off 500 people. No, excuse me, they didn't lay them off. They fired them. Even the owner got fired.
Yeah,
because once he sold, that was the end of him as the CEO. So they were broke, and they still are in deep debt. They're trying to scramble their way through, and we're the Eagle station. Great, okay, knock yourself out. But the reality, they did me wrong, and I tried to move on because I just wanted to move on, and then the podcast idea became more and more of a reality. So to answer your question, I would have continued to work there. I would have continued to do what I do. I know people said that they have said that they do miss me. They miss a person like me or me. I'll say that at that station. And
do you miss radio?
You know what? After
that's
this,
why I went back and did Tampa is because
after this, do I miss radio?
I miss radio a little bit.
Yeah. I miss radio. Do I want to do 4 hours of bullshit every day, 5 days a week. No, I liked it because at the end I was doing a few days and I was guesting on different shows, and that's the way to do it. But they have muddied things up so much that with that company, they wanted me to agree not to ever work for that company again, which I think is against the law. So if I ever went back and sued him, that's
They
against
made you try to check that box that said you can't work.
Oh yeah, I did.
On
That
your
I can't.
exit
I can't.
papers,
I can't.
you were supposed to check that. Yet
I did. I did.
Why'd you check that?
Because I just wanted to get out of there. I just wanted to get, and I don't think I had the greatest advice for the attorney I had. Yeah, he just wanted to get out of it too, because once we didn't sue, there wasn't enough money in it for me. I got a settlement.
Okay.
There wasn't enough money in it for me.
Okay.
So I got a settlement. It's not like I didn't get anything.
Okay.
But so I checked that box, like, would I really want to work for that company if that's the way they treated me? So that's the kind of the way I thought about it. But to say I can't work, there's stations that are part of that company across the country that have no problem with me. And would I want to work in radio somewhere? Yeah, I still have people across the country call me up to be a guest on the show. But would I like to work for somebody? And it's not even about the money.
Well, now you could do the stuff from your house too. I mean.
Yeah. Well, now at the way things are.
I do a radio show in Tampa from my home. I mean, so
yeah.
And so, like, I don't have to be in Tampa to do that show. So I do that there, and I missed it a little bit. So I wanted to go back and do it because Howard, like you, I mean, I was the second generation after you guys. So I was on radio for 30 years. And for me just to not do it, I'm like, yeah, shit. By the way, I love what I'm doing now because, we have to evolve, you and me. We have to all evolve into this.
Yeah. I mean, I like the area. I mean, like the Tampa area. Not that I would live there, because with the Phillies in Clearwater, it's right down the road, and I know people in town.
You don't know how many Philly fans, like I'm talking Flyer fans, I'm talking Eagle. When the Eagles came this last year to play in Tampa, the entire stadium was Philadelphia Eagle fans at Raymond James.
Well, yeah, but they go everywhere. So that's not the point. The point is I got to know people, and I know people at the executives at the Hard Rock in Tampa. So, that I've known for many, 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 many years, and they're just people down there that I got to know over years. I started going to spring training when I was a kid. My parents used to bring us all down. So, a lot of years that I was going to spring training.
It's a great facility. That Phillies facility in Clearwater. I told you, I got my Dick Allen baseball signed by him there. And Frank Kona, I told you, he goes like this. Dan, meet me over at the Clearwater facility. So right after my show, I get off the air, and sure enough, I'm sitting there, and there's Frank Kona. Frank Kona goes like this. He goes, here's Dick Allen. Larry Bowa was there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm going, Greg Lazinski, I think it was Alumni Day or something. Schmidt was there, and all I cared about was wampum. And I saw him. I go, Dick Allen, you were my child.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Dick. He was a different kind of guy. He knew my name. I knew his.
You guys booed his ass, he said, when he was there.
Not me. I love the guy. I know his son. Every once in a while, I'll text his son, Richard Allen. I guess it's Junior. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I loved Richie Allen. I still call him Richie Allen because that's when I knew him as a kid. But the point is, Clearwater, I knew the area, know the Tampa area. Yeah, I would, there's places, and I know people in the Tampa area, in the Clearwater area. So would I do it? Yeah. Yeah, I would do it. I don't know that I'd do it 5 days a week, but I would do it. But there's got to be.
Hey, if you want to do a show there, man, I'll make it happen. They pay pretty decent.
We're at the Tampa station.
Yeah, it's a 50,000 watt station.
What's the frequency? 9 is that 820? Wasn't the one at 9 something years ago?
970 is WFLA. That's the news.
Oh, okay.
I worked at 620 WDAE.
Okay.
And now they've just gone to 100,000 watt FM station, but I worked at 620, and 620 you can hear it in New Orleans. I was doing 14 shares in the mornings by myself in Tampa. And get this, I was the biggest tool back.
Are they 24 hours sports?
Not like WIP. WIP's local 24/7. They've got like Dan Patrick in there, and they've got like I think at night they have like Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
WIP, it's 24/7 all night.
So when are they local live? It's your
I think 6A to 6P. They've got some guys in there, but they're looking. I know they're looking for some people.
I would think about it. I would just because I could do it from my home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it from my home.
Plus, you'd be an all-star there.
Wait a minute.
You would.
I'm an all-star. I'm an all-star everywhere.
I know, Howard. Here's the deal. But wait a minute.
I'm kidding.
Wait a second. I'm gonna leave you with one last thing here, though.
Yeah.
How many more years is Jalen Hurts going to be a quarterback in Philly? I will see you soon.
Yeah, this many years.
Howard, I appreciate you more than you know, my friend. Thank you so much, man.
You know what? Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. The fans in Tampa, the Tampa Bay, they're not the Devil Rays, they're the Rays now.
Right.
The Tampa Bay Rays always seem to have a competitive team. Not as competitive now as they used to be because they had good people in the front office.
Correct.
Selecting talent.
Andrew Friedman was there. He's now in Los Angeles. He's the Dodgers general manager. So now he has an open checkbook. So he's using hundreds of millions of dollars. When he was in Tampa, I used to tell him he's using nickels and dimes. So
so Todd Bowles is the football coach.
Yes.
I'm friendly with Todd because it goes back to the days when he was a coach at Temple, believe it or not. And he was with the Eagles for a little while.
That's right.
And
then, Bruce Arians.
Okay. Right. And Bruce Arians, I stayed friendly with. I'm trying to think did they hire an assistant from this area?
Josh Gazard.
Oh, okay. I don't know him. I have friends.
So Josh Gazard now works with the Eagles. He's the pass game coordinator.
Oh, that's right. He came up. Yeah,
he came up.
Who did Tampa hire?
They hired a guy, Zach Robinson, who's their offensive coordinator. They got him from Atlanta.
Okay.
All
right. So I don't know if there's any. Is there special teams guys? Is that Danny Smith?
It is.
Dan, I got to get his. I have a number for him, but I don't think it's the right number anymore. Danny was always cool with me. Danny's a good.
Do you know Ed Schneider used to come on my program because when I had Bobby Clark on, Bobby Clark would come on my program and he introduced me to Ed Schneider when he was alive. Would come on my show. Those Philadelphia Flyer fans used to fill the arena. Do you know how bad it got? It got so bad that the Tampa Bay Lightning came up with a rule. You could not wear an opposing team sweater
in the lower
bowls because every time the Flyers played, the Flyers would dominate the lower bowl, and you thought you were playing at the Spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Massive Philly fans there.
Yeah. Tampa doesn't have any connection with Philly. I could be a Philadelphia connection.
Well, there was an afternoon guy by the name of Steve Dumick who did.
I know Steve. Steve
passed away, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But he was born in Philly.
Yes, that I knew him. He worked at another station there too, I think. He was with a couple of stations there.
Well, he worked with me at WDAE, and just so you know, so I worked there for 14 years. I was doing morning drive for 14 seasons. I was the morning guy. And every single week we would have a staff meeting. He'd sit at one end and I'd sit at the other end. So I don't know how you and Angelo were, but I must have said 4 words to him in 14 years because I couldn't stand the guy. He hated me. And every time but it made great radio.
That's 3.5 more words than I said to Angelo in all those years.
Hey, and that's what I said. Ray Didinger goes, I go, you were in the middle of those two guys? He goes, you should see our meetings, how they were back in the day with how we would get in there. And those two guys would be in there. Howard would be in there just like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that.
Listen, all I try to do is be good for the listeners, whether they agree with me or not. You know,
Howard, they said you were an AJ Brown kind of host when you were.
no, no, I got along with the people, but on the air, people thought I was a bad guy. I mean, I'm just opinionated. That's all. I mean, it's just whatever.
Well, but what people don't realize is that the truth hurts.
Yeah. Hey, the truth will set you free.
Absolutely.
Just remember that.
Howard, thank you so much. I'll catch up with you again, my friend.
Yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have Charles Barkley on my show next Wednesday night.
Oh, wow. Charles Barkley. Is he the best? Is he the biggest personality in Philadelphia history, athlete-wise?
Probably because he's so personable and he's so unfiltered type guy. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say there are a lot of nice guys.
How was Mike Schmidt?
He was great with me, but he was a quiet guy. And Mike said to me one time, I'll never forget this. I had the wrong personality to play in Philadelphia because he was so quiet and withdrawn. I knew his mom and dad, just like his dad. So that's just the way he was.
How was Bobby Clark?
Bobby Clark was good. He got pissed off. He was general manager one time when I questioned a signing he made. He got pissed off. We get along fine. I see him once in a while now.
How about Hextall?
Hextall and I, we had I've had differences with all of them. But then in the end, if I sent Ron a text message, he'd be great. Which team is he with now? I don't know which team he's with, but he was obviously with the Kings for a while as an executive, but he's with the team now. But yeah, Ryan Hextall and I got along. We laughed. I mean, there was times we always laughed, and there was times he was pissed off at me.
Man, I thought he was. You know what? I always thought that he was a decent executive, but I really thought that he. I never really thought that at the end of the day. I really didn't think he was good enough. I'll tell you what, the goaltending has never been the same since he left, though.
Oh no, nope.
Just right. He was the assistant general manager in Los Angeles. I don't know where he is right now.
No, I don't know where he is right now, but he was. I'll never forget him in they lost to Edmonton in the 80s. I forget, was it 87 or somewhere in there?
Yeah, he won the Conn Smythe in a losing effort.
Yeah, he was really, really good. It's just
what was Reggie like?
Reggie
White.
Reggie was great. When I say great,
Did you think he was anti-Semitic?
I never sensed that, but he was always great with me. I still stay in touch with his wife periodically because they were both great people. She's terrific. He was great. He was always so nice.
The owner accused him of that, and I always thought that because Reggie was a religious guy.
Because the owner wasn't going to sign him. That's what it came down to. And so he wasn't going to sign him because he didn't want to spend the money.
So he kicked his ass on the way out the door. Is that what
I guess, yeah. But Reggie was always what a good human being he was. What a good human being.
What about Randall?
Randall and I had our differences because I wasn't a big fan of the way he played quarterback, but we get along fine now. If we see each other, very civil. He knows. I mean, I busted his chops about the gold shoelaces and all that nonsense that he used to, because it was more than football with him. But obviously physically talented, but he probably could have gotten to the Super Bowl if the kicker would have been okay in Minnesota. But he became better when he left here. But yeah, Randall, now we had our challenges, but I was always there. He was never not cooperative and didn't want to talk to me. I mean, there's a lot of guys there that there are guys there that busted my chops. And then after they were done playing, they realized, you know what? You were just doing your job.
Did you get along with Merrill Reese?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Merrill's fine. Merrill's Merrill. But does a good job. The one thing that I will say, he and Mike Quick, they will not overly criticize, but they will criticize.
I've listened to them broadcast,
but they will criticize.
He's got more of a critical tone on the air than what he does when he comes on my show.
I know, yeah, because he won't do it there, but he does it during the broadcast because it's emotional. But yeah, Merle's good. I'm no. Hey, listen, I did. I have a history with a lot of people. I did stats and spotting for Merle in the '70s for Penn football
Wow.
when Harry Gamble was the head coach of the Penn football team. I was a kid trying to get into sports.
That's crazy great. How about Harry
I
Callis? How was your relationship with
Oh,
Harry?
Harry and I were great friends, really great friends. Always so nice. I still stay in touch with his son, uh, who just had a birthday. His
I know his
birthday.
son well. His son used to be with the Rays, and he was
Yeah,
the play-by-play guy, and
we
that's how I
did.
met his dad.
I worked with it. The only person that worked with Harry Callis in the booth and his son in the booth was me. I did the ninth innings of home games when I was at the station that carried the Phillies with Harry and Richie Ashburn.
Wow.
And Todd Callis, we did a spring training game. They need me to be color with on the cable station down there with Todd Callis down in that cable cable company down there that carried the Philly spring training games.
How about Tom
So
Brookshire?
we were good until I wouldn't let him on the air when a guy wrote a book about he and Summerall treating 4 o'clock games like it was cocktail hour. So yeah, he wrote the book. Who was it? O'Neill was the guy's name, who's executive producer, I think, at CBS. Wrote a book about that.
Angelo said he started doing radio with him with Brookshire, and then Brookshire got out, and then Tony Bruno came in.
Well, Brookshire was there when he had a piece of the station, didn't have to put up any money when Spectacor owned the station. Ed Snyder owned it. So Brookshire was, but he didn't he called because he wanted to challenge this guy, but I didn't want to ambush the guy. So Brookshire got really pissed off. He was kind of an executive at WIP in the early days. Didn't know a damn thing about talk radio, but really nice guy, really good guy, but didn't know anything about talk radio. But he got pissed off at me because I wouldn't let him on the air. Terry O'Neill, I think, was the guy's name, executive producer at CBS Sports, and he wrote a book where Summerall and Brookshire treated the 4 o'clock games like a cocktail hour.
Who was your favorite guest?
Well, in my years, Muhammad Ali when he was still boxing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he was Muhammad Ali.
So he'd get on the air, and Frazier was obviously still alive back then.
Yeah.
So
he was training in Deer Lake, which is in Pennsylvania.
You must have talked to Frazier too, right?
Yeah, it wasn't as good an interview, but I knew Frazier and his son. Yeah,
he had trouble.
Muhammad Ali was just, I mean, he was Muhammad Ali. I've had Jack Nicholson on the air. I've had Gene Hackman on the air. I've had a lot of people. It's just when you think about all the days where it was easier to get those guests, but Ali. Back then, we didn't tape anything. The technology was. I wish I had the Muhammad Ali. I had the mob boss on with me, Toey Merlino, when he was the mob boss, alleged mob boss, as he says.
He sells hot dogs or something, allegedly, or something.
So, but I would say, Muhammad Ali, because he was worldwide. He was Muhammad Ali.
Hey,
how much better can it get? How much better can it get than
Howard?
that?
So Jimmy Johnson used to bring all these boxers in, like Julio Cesar Chavez. He would bring in Hector Camacho. So one day he would bring us to our practices at Miami, and so here comes Ali because Angelo Dundee had his gym in South Florida. Angelo, he shows up with Angelo Dundee. There's Muhammad Ali. There's our entire Jerome Brown. We're all sitting there. We're all looking at him. The guy's my idol. And so, all the crap talking we did back then, our teams, we wanted to be Muhammad Ali. He's up there. He's talking to us, and he still had everything rolling. And man, what a tremendous. Then he invited us down to the gym. He had been retired, but then he gets into the gym. He starts boxing. He beat, if I'm not mistaken, he beat Liston and won down at the Miami Convention Center. So he had some sort of event.
That's the one with the famous picture of him standing over him, I think.
Yeah,
right?
He beat him at the Miami Convention Center.
Yeah.
And we went down there. All of us went down. And anytime he would come to practice, he got on our sidelines a couple times. And then Angelo, before he passed, he gave me a book, like it was a book of pictures that Ali had painted. And I didn't really think about it for a long time. I opened it up, and there's signed pictures that he had painted, Muhammad Ali. It's one of my prized possessions that I have today.
Yeah, I have some autographs.
I never interviewed him on the radio. I did Angelo Dundee, but George Foreman, by the way, was one of my closest and dearest on radio guys that I would get on.
I've had him on too, but nobody. Muhammad Ali at the time was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
it was truly unbelievable. And I've been to functions with him. I've been to award luncheons with him. I was at a birthday party of his. I was invited. And he was sick at the time when we had the birthday party, but everything up here was working, obviously. But what a great.
Did you ever do any events with Frazier or anything? Did you guys ever? No, nothing.
No, he didn't have the
chops,
the cachet.
Yeah,
he didn't have the cachet of Muhammad Ali, but he was a great fighter. But he didn't have the cachet.
I would have thought the stuff at the Spectrum, like stuff like that, he would have done stuff there, but I guess not. The only thing I remember going, one of the very first Wing Bowls, I remember coming down for that thing, for the Wing Bowl back in the day, Howard. Hey, I went to those Wing Bowls, man. They were absolutely incredible. You guys used to get 25,000 people into that place. It had to have been one of the greatest radio promotions of all time.
Yeah, and then it started to get old, and they started to have problems with legal problems with
probably
people
started getting too sleazy and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
right. It just it ran its course, and it was fine. It was, but yeah, it was. it was different, to say the least. It was different.
Well, it was a benchmark of the station, right?
At one time, yeah, there was a lot of things that they did, but it was Super Bowl Friday every year, and I didn't go to many of them because I've been to 42 Super Bowls. Yeah, I've been to 42 Super Bowls.
Radio Rows, right? All right, brother, right. You have been absolutely. Hey, by the way, tell the folks, Charles Barkley, right?
Yeah, pretty much locked in for next Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern
time.
And then
Saturday too. I see you always go.
Saturday, I'm on at 8:00. Yeah, I'll say this. I think a guy that everybody wants. He was a caller, and I thought he was dead. He may now be in witness protection. I don't even know, but I think I'm going to have him chime into the show on Saturday.
Do you use your callers as much as Angelo did?
What do you mean use them?
What I mean, to me, they're content. They're like, if you got a really great caller,
if you can have fun with them. Yeah, if you can have fun with them, and I used to hang up on them more than other people did, called them nitwits, morons, and dopes, and it's just, and they graduated to dope in a lot of cases. So yeah, I did what I did.
You know where I got that from in my early part of my career?
What's that?
I rip everybody too, and so I called people stunads and you're a loser. I go, just so you know. When Howard was doing that 40 years ago, 30 years ago, I heard him do it the first time when I was down in Wildwood, and I heard you on the air going, this guy's the biggest idiot I've ever. Man, I thought that was gold.
It was what it was. It's just, but a lot of people took that as a badge of honor.
They do. I know they do.
It is. It's all good.
I got you. Hey, brother, let me let you go, man. You've been awesome with me today. Thank you so much. We'll make sure you check you out, all right?
All right. You have a great day and a better day tomorrow.
One last one. Give me one last shot at it. How many years is Hurts going to be the quarterback here in Philly?
All right. Here we go.
Hey,
wait, you didn't get that? You didn't get that?
I think I got it. Thank you, my friend.
All right, I'll see you later.
You got it. That is the great Howard Eskin. Absolutely. I'm so privileged to have a radio friendship like that, or a broadcasting friendship with him. Him and Angelo, by the way. Oh, that's fun. I love doing that. I got to make some money here. Let's do this. Our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, for a reason. It is because they win. With over $30 billion recovered, Morgan & Morgan, family-owned, family-run. Like the family I tell you about in Pennsylvania, $650K they were initially offered. They ended up getting over $26 million. Simple as that. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. Do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Appreciate y'all coming aboard. Thank you so much. Let me put into proper perspective here about Lane Johnson coming back. And I happen to agree with a lot of people in what they said here today. You know, Howard and also with Xander. Xander said it earlier too. Look, you're bringing a dude like this back. If you're getting 13 games from this guy and you get him into the postseason, that's a win. He's 36 years old when the season starts. And if you're getting him back for that amount of games, that'd be a win. Now this makes the re-signing, if Fred Johnson comes back, this makes it important for him to bring him back. Okay? I mean, it does. It means that, you know, you gotta bring him back because he's gonna be your swing guy. Okay? He no question. Read some of these here. Why not restructure contract like the Chiefs for Cap with Jalen Hurts? It's going to be a question mark whether or not they're going to do that in addressing the contract with Jalen Hurts this offseason and what kind of a priority that's going to be. If at all it's going to be a priority in restructuring a contract for him or extending him. Like I said this before, if you're Nicole Lynn, the agent, and you got Howie Roseman this weekend and you got him, okay, and you got him in a position where you could possibly extend him, you got to sit there and look at that. Okay? Yeah, that's right. because he's taken the league by storm because of his sensational arm. Sills, Bears moving to Indiana looks even more possible after Hammond Indiana Stadium bill passes. Bears released a statement confirming new. It's crazy. I know we're going to have Mike North on tomorrow with us, the legendary sports talker in Chicago. So that looks like that is potentially going to happen. Can you imagine? You got the Chicago Bears moving off of Lakeshore Drive, and you're talking about moving them out of Soldier Field, where they've been there since you know what? People assume that the Bears had played at Soldier Field. They didn't play at Soldier Field. They played at Wrigley Field. For much of the 60s, like when the Eagles were playing at Franklin Field, the Eagles would play at Franklin Field, and the Bears were playing at Wrigley Field, and the Giants were playing at Yankee Stadium. And I believe Washington, I don't know where Washington was playing prior to RFK. I don't remember where they were playing. I don't remember where the Redskins were playing. Sills, Hurts has no more structures left on his contract. Only cap relief is to extend Hurts. Excellent. DFW, great take. And I don't see that happening. I'm with you. I think you're right. By the way, DFW has become a very good viewer to the program, and we appreciate you because you know why? You keep people in line here, DFW, with that, because people aren't going to tell you the truth like M. Reyes when it comes to the Eagles. He's just not going to tell you the truth. He'll make up all kinds of bullshit. I saw games at Franklin Field. How about this, Charlie? I went to the Penn Relays at Franklin Field. I got invited to the Penn Relays. Here's a story for you. So I show up at the Penn Relays. I'd thrown a shot put 64, and I was one of the top guys in the entire East Coast. And I threw the shot 64, and I'm like, I got a shot to win the Penn Relays. Okay? I mean, I'm like, Michael Carter was there. I don't know if you ever heard the name. So Michael Carter played nose tackle for the 49ers. Charlie, wait a second. Listen to this, Charlie. So I show up at the Penn Relays, and I'm like this. I got a shot to win this thing. And I'm like, holy cow. And I saw Michael Carter. He was throwing at 66. Okay? He's throwing at 66. I'm throwing at 64. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to win the Penn Relays. Winning the Penn Relays, that means I'm going to be an Olympian maybe. I go pick his shot up. He's throwing a 16-pounder. I'm throwing a 12-pounder. He threw it 78 feet. I fucking fainted. I went, what? He threw the shot 78 feet. I think he has the record still to this day for like youth shot. I think he threw it 81 feet. I'm friends with Michael Carter. His daughter, by the way, won the Olympic gold medal in Rio. And yeah, and so like I'm friends with her. I'm friends with the Carter family. And Michael Carter won. Get this. So Charlie, get this. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings, a silver medal, and he lost the Olympic gold medal by a half an inch. Or he'd have a gold medal and 3 Super Bowl rings playing with the 49ers. The 84 year that he was at the 84 LA games, he couldn't go to spring training because he was in the Olympics throwing a shot for Team USA. Yeah, and he finished second and won the silver medal in Los Angeles. Is that the last time the LA games was 84? Is that the last time the games were in Los Angeles? I think so. I think the 84 games was the last time they were in LA. Right? Dude, Penn Relays. I got a medal somewhere I got a medal somewhere, and I've got a pen relay because you got a medal for like participating in the pen relays. And I got it somewhere, and I don't know where it is, but I've got it in a box somewhere that I was a participant and I was invited to the pen relays. So I threw the shot at Franklin Field. So it's the craziest away stadium you've ever played at during your career. Great question. Florida Field in Gainesville. Doak Campbell, crazy. Memorial Stadium in Norman. I actually played at Legion Field, and that was crazy. I played at Auburn. Auburn was crazy. I played at Auburn. Auburn, Florida, Doak. Notre Dame wasn't crazy. Notre Dame wasn't crazy. And the LA Coliseum wasn't. That was in the pros. I played the Raiders there. I got a great picture of me playing there with the cauldron up top. We're walking over to the sidelines. I got my cowboy gear on. And I played the Rams. No, not the Rams. It's funny, that year I played the Rams in Anaheim. You guys I don't think you remember this, but the Rams played like they played football where the Big A is. And I played the Rams in Anaheim, and I played the Raiders at the LA Coliseum. And I played against the Los Angeles Raiders when they were at the Coliseum. Rams, I played them when they were in Anaheim. I played the Cardinals when they were at Busch Stadium, the old one. I played at the Hubert Humphrey Dome. That was loud. The coolest place I probably ever played was probably Lambeau. Lambeau Field was probably the place. The place I enjoyed the most was the Orange Bowl. But, yeah, I would say that for me, the loudest places were the Hubert Humphrey Dome. And because you know what? It was like bags. And it was so fucking loud in there. And they could have half of a stadium, but it was loud. And playing at Lambeau was wild. Like I think I've told you guys the story before. When you go to Lambeau, you're going through like neighborhoods. Seriously, like you're going to somebody's house. And we're on these team buses. And all the fans, all the Green Bay Packer fans are sitting out front. You know what they're doing? They're charging people to park in their driveway $5. And so I'm going like, what the fuck's the stadium? You know, because I'd never seen Lambeau before. So we're traveling up there, and I'm like, where the hell is it? Then they got this big hill, and you go over it. And I think you have to fly into Stapleton, something like that. And you go over this hill, and you come down, and make a left. There it is. There's Lambeau Field. And you're like, holy shit. It's like in the middle of a cornfield. There's like nothing around it. It's like in a cornfield. I've never seen anything like it. You got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of cars like are parked around it. There's just nothing there. And then, of course, you pull up. You get the Statue of Lombardi there. Then you walk down and into the stadium, and then you walk onto the stadium, and you're like, thing's been there since like 1926, 24. Yeah. Special place. Really is. It's a bucket list thing. FSU with Doak Campbell was absolutely awesome. My first time going there. And I'm from New England, I'm from Connecticut. I'd never seen anything shit like this. The 75,000 fans, I think it was 75, 80,000 fans. And you walk out there and they shut the lights off. Everyone puts their lighter on or whatever. And that horse comes out with that spear on fire. And he throws that at the opposing team. Now, they don't do that shit anymore. But they threw that down at us. I was like, holy shit, very intimidating. Those college, LSU too, Death Valley. Clemson I played at, that's another crazy place. That was another one. All right, pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. Our good friends, John Morgan and Ultima Morgan, put this firm together, and it is family-owned and family-run. I tell you, this will be the easiest decision you ever make in your life. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Here's a little bit of news here. Cam Scatteraboo says on stream that he's considering retirement. I don't know, man. Just look at what's happened to AB, Tua, and Puka. I could probably make as much money streaming, bro. The only tough part is leaving Jackson. Kind of weird. And the mayor of Chicago's come out a couple minutes ago. Mayor Brandon Johnson is visibly upset that the Bears announced. I didn't know that they had announced that they're fully committed in moving to Indiana. He says the Bears belong in Chicago. Well, get off your ass and make it happen. We're going to talk to Mike North about this tomorrow. We'll do that. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. 2 to 6 tomorrow. And we'll see you on the flip side.